Are we live? Welcome to the 2024 6A Arkansas State Swimming Championships. I'm Scott Halliburton, here to bring you the action with Fred Constantini. So we have a lot of good events coming up today. In fact, the best one is going to be right off the bat. So we expect a close race between Bentonville and Bentonville West. What do you think about this first race, Fred?
It's going to be interesting, and I think first off, let me say it's an honor to be here with the godfather of Arkansas swimming, Mr. Scott Halliburton. No, this 200 medley relay is exciting. There's a first heat, and then we go into the second heat, which is a huge competitive matchup between Bentonville West and Bentonville. It's a toss-up, really, when you look at it. We're not sure who's gonna win this one, right?
Right, and just to set the scene, it's the time finals. You can win from either heat, but in general, the faster swimmers are in the second heat. And so we'll try to announce these things and get you the action. There's a lot of stars in this meet. There's Ellie Schrank that's going to be in the first relay. She's committed to Cincinnati. Jenna Gogol is committed to Nebraska. Susie Lee committed to Ohio State. Caroline Constantini is committed to New Mexico State.
I know that one pretty well, don't I, Sean?
You do, and there's a lot of good swimmers. We also have Susie Lee in a couple events that she won last year and has state records in the 200 free and 100 back. 100 back should be a very good race. We have Connor Boatwright from Harbor High School that's got the state record in the 500 free, committed to Missouri. And he also
you're familiar with too, right?
Yeah, correct. The ones that lost to the Razorbacks today.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Connor has an outside shot at the 200 free record, which is currently held by Ryan Husband, who is a senior at Auburn. And anyway, my microphone's in and out. I apologize, but in general, we should have a good meet. And the Hendricks coach, Tony Marcellini, just said hello to me, and he's here recruiting some athletes. So awesome. A lot of these athletes are looking forward to the next level. A lot of them, this will be their last high school meet or last swimming meet ever. And then, Fred, you want to talk a little bit about what these kids that are committed to swimming in college, what they have to look forward to?
Yeah, a lot of seniors here who have committed to take it to the next level, and Scott named them, and what they're going to do is just go to the next level with their effort and intensity. I mean, a lot of those commitments that we just went through are D1s, and some, high-level D1s when you think about Missouri, Ohio State, and a few of the others. So it's intense, but it's the next level of training. When we look at this first heat, though, Scott, I was going to call out as we get ready the teams. These are not, as Scott said, the primary teams that will be racing technically for the first, second, and third position, but we got Fort Smith in lane 2, Bryant in lane 3. Both of those A relays for them. Catholic St. Mary's in lane 4, North Little Rock in lane 5, and Rogers in lane 6. So we'll get things started here with this first relay. The whistle has been blown.
And we'll have to be quiet for the start. So. The 200 medley relay is swum backstroke, breaststroke, butterfly, and freestyle. Each swimmer swims 50 yards, 2 lengths to the pool. Backstroker starts in the water. So Fred and I have a good vantage point here at the pool deck, but in general, everybody is so excited for these relays. We can't see that well, but in lane 5 looks like North Little Rock is second to lane 2, which is Fort Smith Southside.
Yeah, Fort Smith has a strong backstroker there, good handoff. Looks like in lane 4, that was St. Mary's coming in behind him. This is where a lot can shape up in this breaststroke leg, a lot of movement. And it looks like lane 4 is moving up here pretty strong, Scott.
Yep, it's Mount St. Mary. They've formally won this meet in the mid-2000s, but very good program. And again, they're trying to move up and move into the top 8.
They're right there.
And the relays are scored double. So Bentonville is favored to win both boys and girls this year, but that's why they swim the meet. So the scoring goes as follows: 20, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. And then the consolation is 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's doubled for relays. So the relays are are really important for that reason. And it looks like Mount St. Mary still has the lead with a strong butterfly leg.
Very strong. She's pushing back
Rebecca
some water.
Burnett, I believe she placed in the state in the 100 fly last year.
Yep.
And looks like Abby Weidman is going last on this freestyle leg, and it looks like lane 2 is going to catch them with Fort Smith Southside, and Southside is coached by Tom Bullock, local Arkansas swimmer who swam at Southside and also swam at Missouri State and Oklahoma Baptist. So
this is a great example of the strength of different legs as you look at these swimmers and how the lead is shifted. And we'll see that in the 200 individual medley coming up too, and there's some interesting things coming up there. But that looks like lane 2, right? Fort Smith
Southside. The Mustangs, I think is their nickname now. They used to be the Rebels, but they changed that a few years ago. But this is, again, Fred and I are talking, but this first event is going to be probably the highlight of the meet. The state record is 146.23, set in 2022 by Susie Lee, Leanne Yu, Avery Spencer, and Brooke Holly. 3 of those girls, well, Susie's still here, but, you know, some college swimmers there. And 146.23 should definitely go down.
This is going to be good. Lane 4 and 5 here is really where the race is. There's a few other teams that are here solid, but this is a Bentonville West matchup.
And we'll be quiet for the start. Lane 1 is Cabot. Lane 2, Central. Lane 3, Springdale. Lane 4, Bentonville West. Lane 5, Bentonville. Lane 6, Fayetteville. Lane 7, Conway. Lane 8, Harbor. And this first leg is between Susie Lee, the Ohio State commit, and Ellie Schrank, the Cincinnati commit. They're both going to the state of Ohio, and they're
really neck and neck.
Looks like Susie's got a slight, well, they're going to touch right the same.
It is a touch.
Now, breaststroke.
It is a touch down to the same exact time to the 100th. Amazing.
Wow.
Now, this is a matchup between a freshman, Juliana Costantini, and a seasoned veteran in Jenna Gogol, a senior who's committed to the University of Nebraska.
She's going to swim for Pablo Morales at Nebraska. Right. So she needs to get a lead for her butterflyer. Ella Butcher is going to be going against Emma on the hill.
This is close, though, Scott. This is close. I didn't expect the freshman to battle that way. Here's a butterfly leg.
Emma on the hill is committed to Northern Colorado. And Bentonville West, it's going to be close. Another freshman here for Bentonville West, and she's hanging right in there. Going to be really close. For the freestylers, we have Lena Haraldson and Caroline Constantini coming up, and it's just like last year's race coming on the last leg.
What a matchup, barely behind. This is close.
Lane 4, Bentonville West has got a slight lead. And Caroline let's see what they do at the flip. They're going to flip right together.
Oh, wow. This is hundredths of a second apart. Caroline's just behind.
And again, the state record is 146.23. They're stroke for stroke as they come into the finish.
Inch here. Let's see what happens.
Looks like lane 4, Bentonville West.
Bentonville West got the touch.
145.40, a new state record. Also under the state record was Bentonville at 145.61. They broke the state record by 0.8 of a second. So great swim by those ladies. And again, the state record set by Bentonville West. That's Ellie Schrank, Jenna Gogol, Ella Butcher, and Linnea Haraldson.
Wow. I didn't see that coming. I mean, to have 2 teams nearly a second under the state record, that is very impressive. Hats off to those young ladies. A lot of them, as Scott said, college commits. Great race.
Third place in that was Springdale High School, so very good race, but lived up to the billing and a new state record, so congratulations.
Wow.
And quite an accomplishment. But I think those girls brought out the best in each other by that relay.
Yeah, if you can't get excited about that, you might want to check your pulse, right?
Absolutely.
That was exciting. The boys will be hopefully amply exciting as the 2 top seeds are a little over a 10th apart, Scott. So we got another good matchup coming up between Central and Bentonville.
Right, and I think they give awards after the next race, but in this first heat, lane 1 is empty, lane 2 Rogers Heritage, lane 3 Catholic High School, lane 4 North Little Rock, lane 5 Springdale High School, and lane 6 Rogers High School. We're here at the Bentonville Community Center in Bentonville, Arkansas. It's host of, I think, 5 of the last 6 state meets. very good pool, but not the most deck space in the world. So
a little tight here.
On these relays, with a lot of people participating, there is quite a few interested spectators standing in front of us. And there's Amanda Sacaleras, former Heritage High School swimmer there, graduated from Arkansas State.
They're floating around. We've seen a few of them who've coming back to see their old teammates compete.
And a lot of the swimmers swimming in college, and some of the state records we mentioned are at SECs and ACCs and some of these college conference meets that's going around that just keep getting faster and faster. And Arkansas is the same here. You just keep getting faster. And again, the medley relay incorporates all 4 strokes. They start with backstroke so that it starts in the water. And then they have what was called a flying start. So the swimmers that's going next, their feet still have to be connected with the block by the time the person touches the wall. And there's sensors and there's judges that look at that. So in general, at the national level, what they'll do is do a video reviewing of a pad sensor on the blocks and things. And so you want to get your body fully extended and over the water prior to the next swimmer hitting, the first swimmer in front of you hitting the wall. And so it's really important, not only from the perspective of the swimmer going off the block, but also the swimmer coming in has to make sure, especially in butterfly and breaststroke, they hit the wall so they don't cause a false start, because most of the false starts are caused by the swimmer in the water versus the swimmer on the block.
Absolutely. And if you look at the officials here, Scott, I mean, there's plenty of them here, and they are experienced, and they're watching very closely on these relay handoffs, because when you look at that last relay and the difference, what we're talking 0.21, a handoff that's illegal, that can make the difference. So a lot of great officiating, and we appreciate the officials here today.
Yeah, and they make sure they rotate these officials in and out so they're fresh for each thing. The freestyle events are not as critical as some of the strokes and different things, but the medley relay has all 4 strokes and takeoffs and things, and so you'll need several officials to do that. And we appreciate them. They're all volunteers, like Fred and myself, and it takes a community to run these meets, and our thanks to Bentonville High School, the Northwest Arkansas Sharks, and the Razorback Aquatic Clubs that loan a little bit of equipment and things for these meets and provide most of the officials that work this state meet.
Making it happen. Takes a village.
And
looks like they may be doing awards here, huh?
Yeah. So we also, if you look at the pool deck, the focus is usually at if you look at the right side. So the lane closest to you on the left as you look at it on the screen is lane 1, and the furthest one away is lane 8. And so they're in those orders. If you look over, see some people sitting down with a table to the right at the finish line. They're running an electronic timing system. There is a touch pad at the end of every length, and so it's just measured electronically from each swimmer coming into the wall. So there's backups with timers, and there's also backup with a plunger in case there's a soft touch, especially when they can't see the wall and stuff like in backstroke. The backstroke flags are up. They measure the swimmer's number of strokes so they can see it and hit their turn exactly right. If you looked at that last heat, Susie Lee and Ellie Schrank, 2 very, very good backstrokers.
Yeah, for sure. And if some of the splits are coming up here, Ellie Schrank, 25.48 leadoff for Bentonville West. Jenna Gogol, 29.95 breaststroke. Ella Butcher, the freshman, young freshman, very talented, 26.50 on the butterfly leg. And then Haraldson at the end, 23.47. And that just shows you how close it is, because when you look at the Bentonville splits, they're almost on top of each other. Susie Lee was at 25.48, Juliana Costantini 29.96, Emma on the Hill 27.0, and Caroline Costantini anchored it in 23.17. Not quite the 22 high, but not quite enough to get the touch. So that was one heck of a relay. Wow.
Well, the other thing is it's going to lead ourselves up to the 100 back. We'll see Ellie and Susie battle it out in the 100 back. And the other thing to point out is that a lot of people are really focusing on the state high school meet as it may be their last meet. But there's swimmers, if we'll mention some, like Susie Lee and Ellie and Jenna Gogol and some others, they're focusing on some other meets. They really want to do well at this meet, but they're going to junior nationals in some different events like that. So they're at various ports of their season, and so that's why you have some different results and things. You know, it's in swimming you try to rest and hit your peak performance at the big meets. And
9-9. Sorry.
Well, we got
all right, on to the men.
heat 1 of 2 coming up.
So heat 1 in lane 2, we have Heritage. Heritage in lane 2, Catholic in 3, North Little Rock in 4, Springdale in 5, and then Rogers in 6.
Looks like lane 3 and lane 4, which is Catholic and North Little Rock, are right together. It looks like Catholic has a slight lead there.
Absolutely. This is a little tight here on the backstroke leg. We'll see what happens because every leg's a little different. You don't know where the strengths and weaknesses are for every team.
The other thing is there's 3 relays during this meet, and so some teams may what we call stack, put all their good swimmers in this relay, and some may focus on the 200 free relay or the 400 the 400 free relay, and so you don't really know what talents people have. So we will see some lead changes. The relays are fairly exciting because they incorporate all the strokes. And we're on the breaststroke, and as soon as we get the swimmers here to the end, they'll be halfway at this race, and they'll turn it over to the butterflyers.
So it looks like at the halfway point here, lane 5, Springdale has taken a little bit of a lead on North Little Rock, but as Scott mentioned there, anything can change. We'll see what we get on this butterfly leg.
Yep, North Little Rock it looks like that the swimmer from Springdale, again, a slight lead as they go into the finish, into the freestyle rather. But you know, we'll look at the start, and again, the swimmer wants to get their body out and time the touch exactly right, and so they'll do a wind-up start to try to get ready for that.
Springdale's got a sizable lead in this one now. We'll see if anybody can make a move on the free leg, but looks like they may have this one.
And again, they're trying to get a fast time to move up into the top 8, double points on the relays, and so that allows them to be eligible for that award. Okay, Springdale won that with a time of 1:55.67. They're hoping to move up with that.
Last seed in the second heat is 1:48.55, so could happen, but a little bit of a stretch there. This next heat's going to be exciting. We got Bryant in lane 1, Fayetteville High School in lane 2, Harbor in 3, Central in 4, Bentonville in 5, Bentonville West in 6, Conway in 7, and Cabot in 8. Scott, what do you think of?
Well, I think Bentonville is going to be favored here, although Central seeded first, and they both have really fast times. I know that Bentonville's leadoff swimmer, Gage Johnson, is a Purdue Boilermaker commit, and he's an excellent backstroker. I expect Bentonville to have a slight lead off to that.
6'6" frame. He's a big boy. He knows how to make it up and down this pool fast. I agree.
They also have Jackson Keys going flying, Yofang Yu going free. So we'll see. It should be a close race between these two. The state record is 1:34.19, set in 2017. Very close as we get off here, and it looks like
those boys are out.
Gage and the Central swimmer Brooke Flagg are both right together. Gage has a slight lead and a really nice tempo. Look how he's keeping his head straight and getting in there. And so
boom,
leading over to Lex O'Brien, a sophomore from Bentonville. And he's got a slight lead. Looks like that now the Central swimmer is taking the lead.
He's got a good breaststroker. Central's coming with a good breaststroke leg. This is a good one.
This is a good one. We have Jackson Keys going against Josh Smith. And Jackson is a great flyer, even though he's only a freshman. And one of the top swimmers in the meet, Yofang Yu, a sophomore from Bentonville, is going to anchor free. So it might come down to that. Central's got a state lead. Here comes Jackson Keys going fly, and I don't know if he can make up that time.
It's a lot of time. Let's see what Jackson's got. And you said it, the anchor for Bentonville, Yofang Yu, is an absolute superstar. Let's see what he's got on the end.
Yeah, he's more than a second behind, so it looks like that. Wow, good start from Bentonville. Let's see if he can catch him. He's got good underwaters, and it's very close as they come into the finish. Again, the state record 1:34.19. As they flip almost together, Looks like
Close.
Bentonville's charging as they come towards the finish. We'll see. Looks like Central's got it.
Touch. Oh. 135.64. Central gets the touch.
Just off the state record.
Wow.
Little Rock Central took that one, mainly on the strength of their breaststroker. So great swim there.
Very impressive.
Harbor was third. With Connor Burtright going fly, he's one of the stars of this meet, and obviously that helps that event. So next we're going to have up the 200 free. We'll probably have a short break for some different things, but those...
Hey, exciting enough for you yet, or what?
It couldn't be much closer than those first two. So, just 0.3 of his second, or 2.9.
Yeah, that was a close
separates
race.
that.
That was a lot of fun. 2 relays in a row, back to back. The 2 in the first one breaking the state record, both the first and second place team, and close on those. That's a fun start. Wow.
Absolutely. As you look at the camera angle again, right now, lane 1 is closest to you, lane 8 is furthest away, and they've got the scoreboard on there so you can see those times. Very good time on that, little back and forth. And again, the strength of the breaststroke won that race for Little Rock Central.
Yeah, that breaststroker for Little Rock Central, I don't know if we can get his name, but he really turned the screws there. And Bentonville fought back. The fly, the free, they almost brought it back, but just
looks
not
like
enough.
Michael Potts, a senior,
Wow.
from Central, on that breaststroke leg. I guess we can look at Meet Mobile and see what the splits were.
Split here, that was impressive.
Okay, the next event is a 200 freestyle. The course that we swim in is a yards pool, so there's American records. Really only the USA swims in the 25-yard course. So 200 free means they'll swim 8 lengths of the pool. And the strategy on this race is you want to take it out fast, but be somewhat controlled so that you can finish pretty well. And the ones that swim this most elitely are the ones that can bring it back really fast. And the state record for the girls is held by Susie Lee of Bentonville, set last year at 150.92. She's probably warming down after that medley relay, getting ready for this event. You want to talk about how it is to swim back-to-back events, Fred?
I would think, yeah. Susie is a competitor. She trains very, very hard as I've seen, and she's over in the warm-down pool resting herself up, and with not a lot of time. But as Scott said, different energy system in this race, shifting from a 50 for Susie with that 25 mid split to this is something she's got to take care of her body, flush out the lactic acid, and then get back over here ready to compete. And I can promise you, Scott, she will compete. So
she's very competitive. I saw her with Coach Liz Taylor and Coach Mark Gohl wanting to get some 50 times, some pace times before the event. And so she's also a very versatile swimmer. Her best event is probably the 200 back, which isn't competed in this meet. Also good in some of the distance freestyle events. And just a very versatile swimmer. Ohio State Buckeyes are lucky to have her commit to their program.
So I'll do a quick team score update. I think we have updates through that 200 medley relay on the women's side. Bentonville High School, and this includes diving, so all listeners know diving was this morning at 9 a.m. So on the women's side, Bentonville High School first at 80 with 84 points. Bentonville West second with 62. Springdale High School 49 is third, and Conway fourth at 38. Central High with 37. So that rounds out your top 5. It doesn't look like the men have updated yet, so we'll wait till we get that update to give it to everyone. But still a tight meet with West knocking them off in that 200 medley relay, Scott. It's not a huge gap at this point. The meet's still close. Yeah,
and there's still a lot of swimmers, and again, when we scored out the meet before that started, it looked like that Bentonville has a slight advantage. But again, they swim this meet for a reason, and we'll see what happens. And we'll keep you updated on the scores. After America lost the internet on, what was it, Thursday morning. So it's back now. And I just hope that we continue to get these updates in a timely fashion. But
we are hopefully still live, right? America, you can hear us, right?
Absolutely. Go BentonvilleTigers.com. But if you're hearing my voice, you probably figured that one out. But anyway, we're excited to be here. And the 200 free, again, for the girls, Susie Lee, defending champion and state record holder. And the boys, we're going to have Connor Boatwright, the Missouri commit, swims for Harbor High School. And he has an outside shot at that particular state record. He'd have to have a good swim. But Ryan Husband, who's a senior at Auburn University, set that for Bentonville in 2019 with a 139.03. So it is... it's a very good record, but we'll see.
It's it's competitive. Caleb Guthrie, the second seed for Bentonville West, there behind Boatwright, is 2.5 seconds there. Caleb's really been coming along recently. Trains hard, so he's in there. And then your third seed, Garrett Price at 147. So you got 3 young men there in the 40s. It's going to make it a pretty good swim here.
Yeah, Garrett's a freshman. His coach is his dad, Chad.
Oh.
And Chad used to coach here at for the Sharks a long time ago. But now he coaches in Searcy. So
I told everyone when we started, the godfather of Arkansas swimming. I could say encyclopedia too, but godfather I like better, right?
Yeah, that's good. It was a good movie. Anyway, again, they run this meet a little slower than most meets, and the reason is that it's obviously really important, and they're getting some swimmers rest. For example, Susie Lee just swam all out in 50 backstroke. She's got very good recovery skills, but they're just giving her that. And the other thing is, if there's any question on the relays, on disqualifications and stuff, they would look at, and the officials would get together and review that. So in general, they don't run the meet at the most quick pace, but that's designed so that the athletes can perform their best when the meet comes up and when their times to swim. The other thing is that there was an incident last night at the SECs where in the 100 breaststroke, a really high-level meet, a diver was warming up, and he threw down his chamois, and it hit the deck right before the gun went off, or the horn went off, and so there was a false start as a result. And it ended up, the officials and coaches got together and decided to count it, but the lady that won it twitched a little bit because she heard this other sound. You kind of gear yourself up for any sound and different things, but they went and told the divers to not do that. But that's why you have silence at the meet, because everybody's keyed on the horn that starts and that sort of thing. So anyway, just a little bit about that.
Are you announcing or something?
Or something.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, we're just sitting here with headsets on because we think we're cool, but actually...
Well, it does help. So some of the swimmers going by are interested in the announcing going on. And that was June Dressel, a very competitive swimmer for Fayetteville High School.
Yeah. And so we also, again, this is the biggest classification. There's other state meets going around the state. You have the 5A and the 1 through 4A. And typically the larger classifications, since they have more swimmers, are typically the fastest, but not necessarily always. But in general, a few years ago, they broke up these different classifications into, like they do in the football. And so we have different classifications. And again, they take the top 16 in time finals. And this is going to be Heat 1 of the 200 free.
We are rolling.
I will give the lineup here. In lane 1, Emerson Chambers, Mount St. Mary's. I'll finish after the start. Lane 2, Abby Simon, Fort Smith Southside. Lane 3, Becca Snyder, Bentonville High School. Lane 4, Micah Goldtrap, Bentonville High School. Lane 5, Mimi Abishat from Little Rock Central. Lane 6, Bella McDonald, Little Rock Central. Lane 7, Molly Sutton, Conway. And lane 8, Ellen Jackson, Mount St. Mary's.
So it looks like Micaiah Goldtrap, excellent swimmer out in front here for Bentonville. She's taken a sizable lead. 27.2 on the first 50. She's really pushing it, Scott. She's getting up and out.
She's a freshman. Has a very good technique. As it looks, she's going out really smoothly. Again, most of the people try to even split this race, and we'll look at that. She's got a nice 6-beat kick going. When they swim the 500 later, you'll see it more of a time kick. Most of these ladies will go a 6-beat kick for the entire race for the 200.
She is putting it out there. She's got about 3 body lengths on the field, 29.5 on her second 50.
So 56 overall with the split, which is nice. She's trying to move up, and the 8th seed right now is 202. So if she keeps going, she's likely to move up. And again, most of the winners come from Heat 2, and I don't think this will be any difference. But we had a few races in 2012. The winner of the 100 free came from Heat 1. So Casey Ragsdale from Conway accomplished that feat, but it doesn't happen very often. But
let's see how she holds on. She's seeming to fatigue a little bit here. That looks like a 31.3, so she's at 57 plus, or 127 plus rather.
And she's competing not only against the other swimmers in here, but against the clock in the next heat. So in general, she's doing pretty well. She's
absolutely putting herself in position. Let's see if she can finish this last 25. She's definitely swimming away from this heat, though. A great effort from Micaiah Goldtrap here.
And great point to make is that she's got clear water, so it's a less wavy with her in the heats.
Oh, 2:00.13 to win the first heat.
Yeah, that should
great effort.
If the way the seeds go, she could go in the top 8.
There, yeah. Second was Becca Schneider at 2:04.37. Sorry, that was third. Lane 6 was second, 2:03.37. Bella McDonald. Good swims for the first heat, Scott.
Oh, absolutely. You know, Micaiah Goldtrap faded a little bit, but she went out after it. She was really determined.
All right, here we go.
I will give the second heat lineup right after the start. Lane 1, Lazy DeSalle, Springdale High School. Lane 2, Addie Payne from Bentonville West. Lane 3, Emma on the Hill, Bentonville. Lane 4, defending champion state record holder Susie Lee. Lane 5, Ashley Koenig, Fayetteville. Lane 6, Abby Stewart, Fayetteville. Lane 7, Autumn Milford, Bentonville West. And lane 8, Grace Simon, Fort Smith Southside.
So Susie's out as expected, our state champion from last year here, taking it out in 26-28. Pretty sizable lead on the first 50. She's got over a second and a half. Now, Emma on the Hill is known to come back very fast in her races, so look for her to make herself a factor. Wouldn't you agree, Scott, when we come back?
Oh, yeah, she's a very good distance swimmer. And then the other thing is, even though Addie Payne and Emma on the Hill swim for Bentonville West and Bentonville respectively, they swim next to each other in practice all the time.
Absolutely.
So they know what the races are and they're going to push her. Well, Susie Lee's just got a beautiful stroke. Look at
relentless.
Very smooth.
And she turned it up coming off on that turn on this third
out
50.
In 54, so she comes back in 56. She'll better her state record. And that on top of the fact she just got out of the medley relay a few minutes ago. So
Emma is making a move, I feel like, there. And Ashley Koenig, keep an eye on her over there. She's a commit to South Dakota. She's in lane 5. She's looks like in third place with Addie Payne very close. Now it looks like Addie's got her edged out. Here comes Susie, though. Wow, she's really turning it up now. But Emma is moving.
Emma looks like she's going to be positioned for second. Emma on the Hill is committed to University of Northern Colorado in Greeley. And she looks like her distance background is going to help her get second. Look at her bringing the kick. But Susie Lee, a dominant performance here. Looks like her state record is 150.9. She might be under that.
Right there, 151.38.
Oh, just off at 151.38. Second is Emma on the Hill. Third, Addie Payne from Bentonville West. And fourth in lane 5 was
Ashley Koenig, I believe, 157.19. So
correct.
Very competitive. Good heat.
And a 1-2 finish for Bentonville, so that's right there, 37 points. So very good effort there, just off of her state record, but very solid swim on 150.3.
Absolutely. Okay, so we got the boys 200 free coming up here next. Once we get a start here, I'll read the names. So heat 1 of the boys 200 freestyle. Lane 1, Ethan Muhlenbach from Catholic. Lane 2, Daniel Bellin from Bentonville West. Lane 3, Jaden Lemons from Central. Lane 4, Cooper Trailer from Central. Lane 5, Gavin Belay from Bentonville. Lane 6, Trey Hudlow from Fort Smith North. Lane 7, Noah Sullivan from Harbor. And lane 8, Bo Frizzle from Conway.
Cooper Trailer from Little Rock Central is out to a strong lead.
Sure is.
He's hot.
Where Micaiah took it out. Same thing. You often get someone in this heat that sets their mind to breaking into the scoring heat, right?
Yeah, Gavin Boyle looks like he's trying to get next to the lane rope and get a little draft off of that too, and pick up some valuable points for Bentonville. So
I believe we should probably talk a little bit about drafting. So there is drafting, unlike cycling where there's quite a bit, or running even a little more. But in swimming, as Scott said, if you get over on that rope, you can get pulled along a little bit by the swimmer next to you. So some pretty shrewd tactics there from that swimmer.
Yeah, and it looks like that Cooper Trailer from Little Rock Central is still leading this heat, but Gavin Boyle is right there.
Right there.
Both of them look to move up. The 8th place time in the next heat is 1:54.63, so we'll look to get some valuable points and spread out that point total.
Yep.
So
they're battling.
Looks like Gavin is closing the gap a little bit for Bentonville. See how they come off this last wall. Looks like Cooper Trailer is going to take it for Little Rock Central this heat, and Gavin Boyle is going to come in second, but two pretty good times.
Cooper had a little more in the tank there, it looks like to me. So 1:52.32 from Cooper to win it. 1:53.78 from Gavin, second place for Bentonville. So
2 and 3 second drop respectively from their seed times. So that's an excellent.
That'll do. Nice swims.
From old guys like Fred and I, we look to not get so much slower the next year. So these guys with these big drops, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Just don't slow down too much, right? Just keep it going.
Yeah. Again, the state record in this is held by Ryan Husband, set in 2019, 1:39.03. Ryan got 9th in this event, the SECs, for Auburn University this week, and is in the finals of the 100 free today.
Yeah, this will be fun here with Connor Boat right in the middle, as we mentioned, Caleb and Garrett. Connor, as we mentioned earlier, is a Missouri commit and very strong swimmer. So this will be an interesting race this second heat. We have Dylan Springate in 1 from Fayetteville, Yasin Baguette from Central in 2, Garrett Price from North Little Rock in 3, Connor Boatwright in 4 from Harbor, Caleb Guthrie, Bentonville West 5, Lex O'Brien in 6 for Bentonville, Jack Werlaski from Bentonville in 7, and Ethan Bedore in 8.
Looks like the freshman Garrett Price is taking it out right with in lane 3 with Connor Boatwright. I don't expect him to hold on, but he's a distance swimmer too. His dad swam at Missouri State and his coach at Searcy. So anyway, very good swim here.
Not giving an inch in the beginning. It looks like Boatwright's going to have him by a bit at the 100.
Yeah, looks like he's got him a slightly better split there, but Garrett Price of North Little Rock is good. But look at how Connor's going to even split this. Look at his stroke too. He's not that tall. He's got an excellent stroke, really long distance per stroke. He only probably takes about 12 strokes a length, and he's really a good distance swimmer. In fact, his best race is the mile swim, but has not competed in here. So
the race here may be for second and third. Scott Guthrie's coming up a little bit there, and I think that could put a little. So, you learn and you. We're back.
It's not on.
Scott got something.
It's so efficiently.
In terms of how to keep going, and his heart and lungs are just relentless. He really just keeps going. So
he'll be a great addition to the Missouri Tigers next year, and looking forward to watching him compete there. It looks like that we're going to give out the awards in the medley relay.
Let's see if I can do a little scoring update.
The awards for the girls 200-yard medley relay. In 6th place, we have Cabot High School.
All right, so we'll do a quick scoring update here while the awards are going out. On the women's side, through the 200 freestyle, Bentonville High School now holds a little more of a sizable lead with 140 points. Bentonville West is second with 92. Springdale High School third with 60. Fayetteville 56 points. And Central High School coming in fifth right now with 50 points. On the men's side, looks like this is through the 200 free as well. Bentonville with 130 points in first. Central with 80 points in second. Bentonville West third with 71. Conway 65 points, fourth, and Harbor High School coming in fifth, rounding out the top 5 with 55. So still a lot of swimming to go here, but it's competitive.
Absolutely, and it's, you know, we have a very good vantage point here, but they'll, you know, again, the meet is set up for the athletes to perform their best. We do have some very elite athletes here, so very strange. I think it was kind of amazing that there's a freshman in that last heat that came in third. He'll probably have good things to expect down the road.
A lot of good things to come. Yeah, and the age differences are pretty interesting. You got kids as young as, I think I saw a 13 in the heat, but generally 14 is your youngest athlete, up to 18-year-old swimmers. So pretty big difference, but it's exciting to see the kids get after it at any level and chase and race each other. So this has been a great start.
Absolutely, and just the order of events and events coming up for those that you're listening online might be not familiar with orders. Next event will be the 200 IM, then the 50 free, always girls, then boys. They'll have a break, then 50 free, like I said, they'll have a break for where diving would be. Then 100 fly, 100 free, 500 free, 200 free relay, 100 back, 100 breast, and 400 free relay.
In third place, Springdale High School, Lacey.
Yeah, so the next event, the 200 individual medley, is always a fun one. I don't know if you swam that much in college, Scott. I dabbled until they found out I really couldn't do breaststroke well. So it's all 4 strokes combined: fly, back, breast, and free. So it's really fun to watch if you're able to watch this, because the lead exchanges, right, depending on the swimmer's strengths and weaknesses. So we got some really good racing coming up here in this 200 IM.
Yeah, I was never very good at 200 IM. I also wasn't a good breaststroker, but I did have our state, our school record in the 200 IM, which I had for a while. But
there you go. Had enough of a breaststroke, right? Had enough.
And my strategy was to get way ahead on flying back and just hold on, rest a little bit on breast, and go the free hard. But that's not the best strategy in the world.
Got it done. So awards are going right now. We're in a break.
Bentonville West with state record 145.40. Ellie Shank, Jenny Ogle, Ella Butcher, and Linnea Harrelson. Congratulations, ladies.
Yeah, very good swim there, and you'll hear the public address announcer giving out the awards, and that's for the 200 medley relay. Again, a state record set in that particular event.
And good for Bentonville West. I mean, Bentonville has held that record for quite some time. If you look at the years, they've been very dominant, especially on the ladies' side. I mean, Scott, I think you called out a number 10 of the 11 last state championships for Bentonville. Very dominant. That 200 medley relay, I believe, was 2 years ago when they broke that record with Susie on there. Avery Spencer, I believe, did fly. And Leon Fanyu did breaststroke, and I'm not sure who the freestyle was on that. Do you remember?
Yeah, it was, I have it written down, but it was Brooke Holly.
Brooke Holly, yeah, very good relay. So breaking that by 8, 9 tenths, that's pretty sizable in a race like that to win by that much.
So Bentonville High School did not lose the 200 medley relay for women from 1998 to 2011. Somebody was keeping a streak on numbers, and then at the state meet in 2012, they finally got beat by Conway. And I don't know what the number was. It was close to 200 races where they hadn't lost that particular relay.
That's dominant. And to lose that one by, what, a little over a tenth, what, 0.2 roughly, 0.18. Wow, what a touch. But it's good to see the swimming spread around a little bit. You love to see some other teams competing, because really it's about competition. That's how they're all.
And a lot of these
better.
swimmers train together. The two major teams in town are the Northwest Arkansas Sharks that work out here at this facility, and we also have the Razorback Aquatic Clubs that worked out in Springdale and Fayetteville. And you have these swimmers that maybe come together from Bentonville from those two different clubs. So I think they're all friends. Some of them want to win, but they come together for the state meet for Bentonville High School or Bentonville West for the effort.
Put your differences aside and suit up for your team, absolutely. And the club swimmers commit themselves, as you know, Scott, from your time in Missouri and mine in Florida. It's a lot of time, a lot of effort that changes their entire life. Sometimes 5:30 in the morning, to 7:30, sometimes 3 days a week. Saturdays can be 3.5, hours. So it's a commitment for a young kid in high school, but the results show it.
Yeah, and just the Bentonville schools. So Bentonville's head coach is Liz Taylor, but she also the assistant for the high school team is Mark Goles, the head coach of Northwest Arkansas Aquatics. For Bentonville West, you have the kind of assistant is Trey Rogenstein, who coaches the Makos and a couple other groups for the Northwest Arkansas Sharks. And here we are, Bentonville again, second in the men's 200 medley relay when Little Rock Central won that one.
Got edged down in both of them, which is not common, but that's the way it turned out today.
And in first place, with a time of 1:35.64, Central High School, Little Rock, Brooke Platt, Michael Potts, Joshua Smith, and Yasin Banda.
And again, the 200 individual medley, you swim butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, and freestyle. And most people choose to do the Australian crawl is what we call freestyle. So it's really kind of the decathlon of the swimming, especially when in club meets you go 400 IM, but you got all the strokes. You'll see some lead changes and some different things. The women's record is held by Leanne Yu, who's a freshman this year at South Carolina. She had won several state titles for the Bentonville Tigers, and her younger brother is competing in this meet. But she was excellent at very pretty in all 4 of her strokes. But we should have a pretty good race coming up.
Well, Leanne swam in the SEC meet this last week, right,
She
Scott?
did. She swam the 200 IM and went 2:00:05, so about 4 seconds faster than this event. I think she was 31st in the 200 IM and the 200 breast. I think she went 2:15 in 200 breast, and she went 1:01 in the 100 breast, and she was 27th in that particular event.
University of South Carolina. She is a Gamecock with a former teammate of mine from Florida, Jeff Papel, the head coach there, and formerly coached at the University of Arkansas.
That's correct. He used to coach here, and I think that's his connection, because Kevin Brumfield, who has the boys' record in the 200 IM, also is swimming down there, and Yusuf Bagat, who swam at Little Rock Central, is also a sophomore there at South Carolina. But Jeff Popple kept his Arkansas roots and has recruited quite a few swimmers to swim for him there.
He got a little pipeline going through there to Columbia, South Carolina, but he's an excellent coach. I'm sure he's going to develop Leanne. We actually coached together at Bowles many years ago, so Bowles as a private school in Jacksonville, Florida, with some really good swimmers, Olympians, and Jeff does a great job with that program. He'll keep the train rolling, and we'll keep the pipeline going from Arkansas. So
okay, 200 IM. I'll announce the swimmers as we get in the water. Again, the record is held by Leanne Yu, 2:04:21, set in 2021. Lane 1, Riley Dyson, Conway. Lane 2, Chloe O'Neill, Conway. Lane 3, Reese Waller, Harbor. Lane 4, Kira Moore, Bentonville West. Lane 5, Kaylee Dale, Bryant. Lane 6, Candace Dingman, Fayetteville High School. Lane 7, Jordan Miller, North Little Rock. And lane 8, Emily Orlisek, Fayetteville High School.
So it looks like at the beginning of this race, Kira Moore has a nice lead going out for Bentonville West on the fly leg. But as we said, anything can happen in this IM. Everyone's got strengths and weaknesses, and it plays out as the race goes on. It's also really important, Scott, on these transitions, right? You look at some of these turns, and a lot can happen when you transition between strokes, right?
And you're using a lot of different muscle groups, and in backstroke, you can, even though your face is above the water, you're still doing a breathing pattern. At least you should be, in trying to do that. Versus breaststroke, you're going to breathe every stroke, but someone will do a crossover turn, some will do an open turn as they go from back to breast, but it's really hard to really master mixing all these different strokes in for a 200 IM, which is somewhat of a sprint.
Yep, Kira Moore has about a body length lead at the turn on the backstroke, shifting over to breaststroke. This is the one, though, often you'll see, Scott, that someone will just move up, right? There's a breaststroker hidden, and they'll just make a move on
It's
this
like lane
breaststroke
3 is making a little bit of move. And the other
Three
thing
sure
is if you get ahead on breaststroke, the freestyle stroke is the fastest, so you're going to gain more time and win on that. It looks like lane 3 has moved up.
Sure
She
is.
must be a breaststroker. That's
Yeah, looks
Reese
good.
Waller in Harbor High School.
She's made a strong move and passed Kira Moore from Bentonville West, but as Scott said, we'll see what happens. This transition turn is a critical one going over to freestyle as you enter the fastest stroke.
These ladies, Kira Moore is seated at 2:25.59. Looks like she's going to drop a little time on that. And she also is coming back, and as we said, many lead changes in the IM. She's going to probably, looks like she's going to take this first heat.
Sure does. Although, looks like Reese Waller's keeping it close. It's definitely it's Kira's to win. Opening up more. Heat, Bentonville West.
Pretty good last year in lane 2. Lane 5, but Addison Wicklund and Jenna Gogol should have a very good race here.
Boy, this is going to be good because I'll tell you, if I think of two competitors in the meet, Scott, it'd be Addison Wicklund and Jenna Gogol.
And Addison's got a seat time better than the state record, so we'll see if she can beat that 2:04.21. Lane 1, June Dressel, Fayetteville. Lane 2, Ellie Adams, Bentonville. Lane 3, Ella Butcher, Bentonville West. Lane 5, Addison Wicklund, Rogers. Lane 6, Jenna Gogol. Lane 5, Jenna Gogol. Lane 6, Juliana Costantini, Bentonville. Lexi Boxis in lane 7, and from Bentonville, and then Genevieve LaForge from Bentonville in lane 8.
So Addison is flexing her muscles literally in this first fly leg.
She's an excellent butterfly.
Taking it out in 26.4. Jenna's coming in pretty close to her at 28.5. And then keep an eye on lane 3. Ella Butcher is a phenomenal freshman with a good fly leg. And then the other young gun over there, Juliana Costantini, has a very strong breaststroke leg. So this will be interesting. 2 freshmen around 2 seniors in the middle of the pool here.
And Addison, you should be familiar with this, Fred, but Addison comes from a swimming family. Several members of her family have come to this state meet. So,
oh, there we go. The Wicklund crew, Aaron Wicklund.
Yeah.
Good, excellent Arkansas swimmer.
now Jenna's an excellent breaststroker, and she should move up a little bit, but I think Addison's got too much of a lead. She's probably got her sights on that state record at 2:04. She might
sure
break
does.
that.
This is sizable. Jenna's moving, though. Jenna's definitely moving and has her in her sights. Jenna Gogol really is often better in a long course pool. She is an amazing long course swimmer. She does very well short, obviously. She's second in the state meet, but if you put her in a long course pool, be ready. But Addison right now is opening this thing up.
She comes back in 30 flat, Fred, which she should do. She's going to break that state record.
Wow.
So
Addison is really turning the screws. The race is for second and third here. Jenna's got a lead on Juliana Costantini. And here we got Ella Butcher too. So this is tight for second.
yeah, Addison's looks like she's going to get under that state record.
She's got it.
Yeah.
Come on, Addie.
And it looks like Jenna Gogol's going to hold on for second for Bentonville West, but very close with.
Addison's putting her head down. Can she get that 2:02?
She got it.
2:02.86, new state record from Addison.
Congratulations.
Wow.
She went out after it from the start. Jenna
Sure did.
second. Looks like Ella Butcher third and Juliana Costantini fourth.
Close race for third and fourth there. Butcher out-touched Juliana, and Jenna was ahead of Butcher. So, wow, what a great race. And Addison setting another state record. Pretty exciting.
Yeah, we've had 2 state records now, and we also, that top 8 was the top 8 in the event. So we're getting ready for the men's, the boys 200 IM. The state record is held by Kevin Brumfield, another swimmer that we said that goes to the University of South Carolina. He went 150.42 last year.
So heat 1 hitting the water here. We got Walker Hester from Bryant, Van Pruitt from Conway in lane 2, Luke Rankin in lane 3 for Fayetteville, Carson Putnam from Bentonville West in 4, Christian Longo in lane 5 from Conway, Henry Boer from Bentonville in lane 6, Asher Cook in lane 7 for Fort Smith, and then Luke Smith for North Little Rock in lane 8.
looks like lane 4, Bentonville West, Carson Putnam, is out really, really good. So again, I always thought the IM was more of a breaststroker's race, but Addison Wickland went on after it and just put the hammer down to flying back.
She sure did. That was a hammer. My goodness, she took it out. And that backstroke, you know, her and Jenna both weaker backstrokers, but Addison sure didn't give an inch on that backstroke. That was impressive.
Yeah, Carson Putnam, a senior at Bentonville West, is having a nice swim here. He's seated at 2:11, and he's out in a minute. So he, depending on what his breaststroke looks like, he might be able to move up some here. We also, if we're looking at points, Henry Bourne in lane 6 for Bentonville is right there as well, battling for second in this heat. Again, very valuable points. If they win as planned, it'd be 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 on points from 9th to 16th.
There's meets, to your point, where some of these little bits can make all the difference as they add up. So this first heat at 2 makes a difference if you can get into the scoring level for sure. It's a sizable lead for Bentonville West in this heat, huh?
Yep, absolutely. Carson Putnam, the senior from the Wolverines, has got it. Looks like Henry Bourne from Bentonville is going to get second in this heat. He had a nice breaststroke leg and pulled ahead of the Christian Longo from Conway. So very good swims here. Also in lane 3, Fayetteville High School Luke Rankin has looked like he'll get 4th in this heat, but very solid swim. He's going to be at 2:07. That's a 4-second drop, and he's faster than 3 swimmers in the next heat. So we'll see if he moves up.
That could do it. That could do it. And Bentonville West is in contention in this meet, so that swim from Carson could make a difference for the team. So great effort from that young man. And as you said, out there in lane 6, Henry Bohr, I believe, was second in lane 6. 2:11 for.
We'll read the lineup in a minute, but one of the stars in this meet is Yofang Yu, a sophomore from Bentonville High School. It's his sister that had the state record in the 200 IM and still has the state record in the 100 breast. He's got excellent strokes. Just a very talented swimmer with great underwater.
He's loaded with talent. Muhao and Shushin, his parents, great family, and the kid can swim. This will be fun.
It might be, he's come close to the state record, so we'll see if he can go 150.4. All right, lane 1, we got Ben Robbins, Bentonville. Lane 2, Diego Romero Flores, Fayetteville. Lane 3, Ethan DeGun, Fayetteville. Lane 4, Yofang Yu. Lane 5, Dane Boskus, Bentonville. Lane 6, Michael Potts, Central. Lane 7, Caden Neese, Ross, Luke, and Bentonville. And after the fly, you have Yofang ahead at 23:81, a pretty good time.
Wow.
If you remember back to relay, Michael Potts, who got 5th in this race last year, has a great breaststroke. We'll see what he has on the other strokes. He won the medley relay for him.
That 23:81 is certainly asserting his will, and Yofang's a good backstroker as well. So
wow, look how smoothly he keeps his head. And Dane Boskus, also a very good swimmer. Big family swimmer too. Maya was a senior last year.
Yep.
So 28, so he's out in 51. He is also a good breaststroker, if you see. He's got an outside shot at this 150.42.
Well, you said it though,
record.
Scott. Dane's staying in the race. I mean, Dane is right there. He split almost the same as Yofang on backstroke. So let's see what he's got on the breaststroke leg.
And Dane's an excellent distance swimmer, which will help him in this 200 IM, but he's battling for second right now.
Sure
Looks like another 1-2 finish for Bentonville if they keep this up. And Yofang, 34.86, so he'd have to come back and 25 high, 26 low to break that state record. Looks like that.
Tough. It's going to be tough. But Boskus is charging here. Look at Boskus coming in.
Yeah, lane 3 from Fayetteville, Ethan again.
Wow.
So we'll see. Looks like Yofang has got the event won. Looks like Dane's going to get second for a 1-2 finish again for Bentonville. It's a lot of points. That's 37 points.
Tons. This is close, but I think Ethan's got it. Or Dane, rather. Sorry. That's a great swim. So 155.28 for Yofang to win. And then Dane Boskus, 156.49 for second. Third place, Ethan DeJewan, 156.99. Great race for those young men. Wow.
Absolutely. Yofang faded a little bit, but his excellent strokes. We'll see him in 100 free later today. But excellent swimmer, and a nice state championship for Yofang.
So we're coming up to the fun event, the one everybody waits for, down and back, the 50-yard freestyle for the women, and then the men behind them. So this is what you would call a pure sprint. Different in terms of energy system for the athletes. They're pure sprinting the whole way during this race. So a little different than 100 even when you have a 50.
Yeah,
a lot of these young ladies will take one, sometimes two breaths, the whole 50, Scott. So they're really pushing it.
And the state record is held by Bella Cawthorn from Jonesboro. She's a senior this year at U of A. She got 5th in this event at the SECs this year with a 22 flat. So continue to improve. Excellent swimmer. Used to work with her aunt, but she's a senior this year at U of A. So very good event, and it's just down and back. I'm going to go ahead and read the swimmers now because we're not going to have time when this starts, and so we can announce it. And they'll probably give awards, so I'll wait till a little bit closer. They're going to give awards on the 200 free, and so when we get closer, I will read the lineup for that. So. So anyway, beautiful day here in Bentonville. It's 63 degrees. With all these people in here, it gets to be pretty warm inside. So just the different things. There's a warm-up pool that you might not be able to see, which is right next door. And I'm going to be quiet while they give out the awards for the 200 free.
5th place on Milford, Bentonville West. 4th place, Ashley Koenig, Fayetteville High School. In 3rd place, Addie Payne, Bentonville West. In 2nd place, Emma on the Hill, Bentonville High School. And in 1st place, Susie Lee, Bentonville High School, with a time of 1:21:38.
Again, just announced, just a repeating of that 1-2 finish for the Bentonville High School Tigers, and that with Susie Lee and Emma on the Hill. Two swimmers are going to continue their career in college. Susie Lee at Ohio State and Emma on the Hill at University of Northern Colorado in Greeley.
Yeah.
Next
so this 50 free coming up, I don't know if you hit it already, Scott, but it's really a dogfight in that second heat between 3 young ladies, and we saw 2 of them anchoring the 200 medley relay in Linnea Haroldson and Caroline Costantini. Rebecca Burnett, though, I believe was 3rd last year. Do you have the results from
Caroline Costantini was 3rd last year, and Rebecca Burnett was 4th.
So you got a lot of 3 girls in here with 24 mid-seed times, all within 2/10 of each other. It's really a race in those middle 3 lanes.
What's kind of fun is that Lynetta and Caroline battled it out in the medley relay. Now they get to battle it out in this.
They battle it again. Yes,
so
they do.
Caroline, I'm sure, for Bentonville, is wanting to get a little revenge on that medley relay.
You'd probably think she will. So we'll see. This will be fun. This is going to be a tight race. And I think you mentioned last year, the 50 was won last year by Zoe Smith, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
she chose not to swim this, right?
Yeah, she's probably favored to win the 100 free coming up, maybe even break the state record. An excellent swimmer from Central Arkansas, but she chose not to swim the 50 in this meet. So she's swimming the 100 free and 100 back. 100 back is loaded with Susie Lee and
sure is.
Ellie Schrank. So we're going to see quite a race with those 3 athletes in that race.
But that 100 back could be the deepest top 3 of any race we have here. That's going to be fun.
Let me read the first heat because that's going to be up pretty soon, and we won't have time during the race. But in the first heat of the 50 free, lane 1 is Hannah Perry, Bentonville High School. Lane 2, Hannah Layton, Conway High School. Lane 3, Rebecca Pendergraft, Conway High School. Lane 4, Allie Sale, Fayetteville High School. Lane 5, Camden Tuller, Bentonville High School. Lane 6, Annie Zahn, Little Rock Central. Lane 7, Ava Schindler, Conway High School. And in lane 8, Francis Henry, Springdale High School. The other thing is you'll see some swimmers jumping up and down, and what they're trying to do is get their blood flow going and get really ready. They've loosened up in the warm-up pool and gotten ready, and this is just down and back, a really sprint, and if you don't do that, you're not ready to go when the gun sounds.
It's a different animal. It's of the races. It's all hype and energy, and you got to be ready. Here we go, first heat. Kind of the glamour event of swimming. I don't know about you when you swim in college, Scott, but I swim the 1,000 and a mile a lot, and it seemed like nobody was in the stands during those events, but sure was a lot of people for the 50 watching.
You can say the fastest Arkansas swimmer whoever wins this race, so definitely true. I was never that good at the 50. I guess I was okay. I was good at 100 free, 100 fly, and the fly events. So anyway, looks like we have lane 4. 26:01 for Allie Sale, Fayetteville High School. In second place in that heat was Rebecca Pendergraft from Conway. Let me read the second heat. Lane 1, Madden Kabik, Conway, Esteban Cabot, Constantini, Bentonville, Haroldson, Bentonville West, Rebecca Burnett, Mount St. Mary's, Herden from Harbor, Garcia from Cabot, and Olson from Springdale.
This is going to be fast and furious. There they go.
Good start in lane 3 by Caroline Constantini. She had a great reaction time off the blocks.
She's got the quickness, but they will be coming. So Caroline off fast first, and here we go into the turn. It is tight.
Yeah, she's got a slight lead.
Caroline has a slight lead, but Harrelson is charging. Let's see what we got. That should be her last breath. Hammering it home here with 5 yards to go.
Looks like Caroline's got it. She does.
Oh, wow. 23.98, under 24 for Caroline Costantini. A big swim for first place her senior year. Wow. So she got her revenge, huh?
She did. Looks like some members of the Constantini family are kind of excited there. So.
Tori's not quite family, but close enough, right?
She owns Bentonville Swim Life and the local shop there. She got very excited. She gets very nervous at his meets when her son Gage swims. She's going to be beside herself.
It'll amp up higher than that for the.
And he's in the 50 free, so she's getting warmed up for that. So great win. Caroline came back and revenged that relay. And the boys 50 free. This is heat 1. We got Zach Shefchik from Bentonville, lane 7. So lane 1, Shinkler, lane 2, Chauvin, lane 3, Middleton, lane 4, Lehman, lane 5, Garlow, lane 6, Hutchins, lane 7, Shefchik, and lane 8, Burns. This is a splash and dash type of thing. It looks like lane 3's got a slight lead. That's from Bryan High School, Dylan Middleton. And it's very close. Lane 3, lane 4. It looks like lane 3.
Lane 6 was out there too.
Lane 6 got it. 23-6.
Lane 6 snuck in there. Wow.
That's Brody Hudson's from Bryan High School. And lane 2nd and lane 3 was Dylan Middleton. Let me read the lineup here. Spence, Bentonville West. Flag, Central. Bartera, Fayetteville. Johnson, Bentonville. Reynolds, Central. Keys, Bentonville. Eberhardt, Conway, and Norman, Conway. They look like Gage Johnson, the Purdue commit, is very excellent in this event. He is out to a slight lead. His 6'6" frame is getting out there in about 10 seconds. He's got a slight lead.
Oh, wow.
And it looks like he's going to win this easily. He tied for second last year.
Really turning it on. Look at this. This is going to be 20 point.
21:06. Just off the state record of Ty Wingfield, who went to Auburn and from Conway's 20.36. But Gage Johnson with an excellent swim after tying for second last year, won it this year.
Sure did.
So
he really lit that up in lane 6.
Second place there is
Jackson
Keys, the freshman from Bentonville. Excellent swimmer. But as only a freshman, he's got a few years to come in third.
And especially an event like this, Scott, when you're a freshman, the muscle and strength needed for a 50. That's very impressive for Jackson to get in there second.
Nathan Batara was third for Fayetteville High School. So
nice.
Excellent swim and more points for Bentonville High School. You got Jackson Keys and Gage Johnson. Again, a 1-2 finish. That's 37 more points for Bentonville High School right there, not including the other swimmers we had. So
exciting flashy race is over. Let's see if we can get a new update on team scores here. I'll be mobile for that. There's a lot of movement here in terms of what's happening between teams.
And you also saw that Gage Johnson, it is a big advantage to be tall and lean like Gage Johnson is. And he got off, he had a great reaction, got up there and did that here as he walks by us now. That's Gage Johnson, very happy.
Her mom's neck is hurt looking up at her, her little boy there, but that was one heck of a swim for Gage. He trains hard. Gage, with the Razorback Aquahawks, trains very hard day in, day out. Great kid, and Purdue's lucky to have him. So I'll just do a quick team score update. They're going into awards on the women's side. Bentonville High School's extended their lead. They're first at 219 points. Bentonville West is in a clear second position with 151 points. Fayetteville High School, 84 points. Springdale very close with 74 points behind them. And then Conway with 68 points in fifth place on the ladies' side. On the men's side, Bentonville High School's sizable lead, 241.5 points. Central High School from down in Little Rock, 123 points. Bentonville West third, 105.5. Fayetteville High School 101, and then Conway with 96. So Bentonville has the advantage here, Scott. They're still rolling along on both sides.
Yeah, it looks like they're well on their way to 2 in a row for Bentonville boys and, again, women at one time.
Yeah. Transitioning over to awards now for the IM. So Addison Wicklund, the Colorado State commit, with Jenna Gogol, Nebraska. And then in third place in that, we had Ella Butcher. Fourth, Juliana Costantini. I think your mic's, yeah. So they just finished the girls' awards here. We're going to transition over to the boys' 200 IM awards now. As we line up here, following those exciting 50 freestyles. Next up, we have the 100 butterfly, which is a great event. High school lineups always are the same. They've been the same all the way back to the, dare I say, the 80s when I swam, so they're consistent.
The only addition was, in I think it was 92, they added the 200 freestyle relay. So when I swam, there was only 2 relays, and you could swim 2 events in a relay. Now you can swim 2 events and 2 relays. So
2 events and 2, yes sir. So
and the state records that are in these events for the 100 fly coming up, you have Taylor Pike, who was a Olympic trial finalist and swam at Texas A&M's, got the record from 2016, 53.96. And then the oldest record on the books on the boys' side is held by Ellis Miller, set in 2009 when he was a junior from Siloam Springs, 48.98. So a very good time there.
Very.
I don't expect that to be challenged on the boys' side. I don't know about the girls. Addison Wicklund, she looked good enough in that IM to challenge that 100 fly record.
Yeah, I think Addison sits in the 55 mid-range, but don't count her out. That first 50 of the IM was a force to be reckoned with. So I would say Addison's got her eyes on that 2016 record from Taylor Pike, the former Texas A&M Aggie. Taylor Pike had a great career there, swimming for Texas A&M in the SEC.
And now she's in law school at the University of Utah, so
just continuing on.
I think got her master's in English at U of A and moved on to University of Utah for her law degree.
So first heat of girls 100 fly, Emma Morrow from Bentonville in 1, Arlie Booher from Conway in 2, Camden Tuller from Bentonville in 3, Mimi Abachade from Central in 4, Madden Kabansky from Conway in 5, Elizabeth Esteban from Cabot in 6, Caroline Netzel from Harbor in 7, and Annabelle Cluck in lane 8 from North Little Rock.
So just a little history on this stroke. Used to be only 3 strokes: backstroke, breaststroke, and freestyle. And the Australians came up with an overhand recovery, and it was so much faster they developed a whole new stroke. Instead of a breaststroke kick, they did a dolphin kick and came up with a butterfly stroke. So the records are I think the 48 Olympics was the first, no, actually 56 Olympics was the first time they competed for butterfly. So relatively new stroke, and that came out in the late 40s. But very good heat here. We have lane 6 and lane 4 battling that out. And that looks like Elizabeth Esteban and Mimi Shell from Central and from Cabot.
Yeah, it's close. They're lane 3 is staying in contention too. Camden Tuller. But it looks like lane 6 may have this. They are coming under the flags here. That looks like Elizabeth Esteban coming in, but wow, it's close. That's
lane
a touch.
4.
Lane 4 came out with a 105.49.
If you look at butterfly, it's probably the most strenuous stroke, and you'll see some redness in the shoulders and things as they tighten up. It looks like, as I look at the facial reaction there, Mimi was very excited with that time of 105.49. She kind of shook her head when she looked over at her coach, and I guess that must be a best time for her. So, well, a little bit slower in her seed time, but she was happy with that performance.
Awesome. Next heat will be interesting. I'll just clear the names here real quick. In lane 1, Addie Stalniker from Central, June Dressel in 2 from Fayetteville, Sophia McAfee in lane 3 from Springdale, Addison Wickland, your top seed in lane 4, Grace Esteban in lane 5 from Cabot, Meredith Lipsey from Central in lane 6, Abby Stewart in lane 7, and Micaiah Goldtrap in lane 8 from Bentonville High School.
Last year, Addison Wickland won this event. June Dressel was 2nd, and Meredith Lipsey from Central was 4th.
So the freshman Sophia McAfee there is really in contention as well. I would look for her to make a race out of it too. And June Dressel is always very good for Fayetteville. So, but Addison Wickland, the clear favorite here with the seed times and defending her championship.
Very good reaction time off of her too. Good start. She got a lot of height thought there. She's come up first. So although lane 3, as you described, Fred, Sophia McAfee is up there as well.
She sure is. She went right out with her. And Addison's going to be tough, but Sophia's keeping it close.
Yeah, the butterfly used to be more of an undulating stroke, kind of a flatter stroke with the legs propelling them forward. So 26.67 is what Addison's split is.
That's fast. She's going to have to come home in 27 to break the state record.
Yeah, but look at that stroke. Great reach out in front, and she hit the turn very well. Got a good breath as she came off. It looks like Addison's going to make it 2 in a row here.
She sure is.
And a double winner. It's a race for a second. It looks like lane 3 and lane 5.
Yeah, Esteban, I think, is in position, but Sophia's charging, so let's see what we get. 56,
very close. Lane 3 got
Addison.
2nd, and lane 5 was 3rd.
Addison Wickland, your new state champion, with 56.28. And a touch there for 2nd. 59.06 for what was that, 59.06. That would be Sophia, 59.06, and Grace Esteban, 59.39. So 3 girls under a minute.
Yeah, congratulations to Addison. That's 2 victories for her today. So all she probably has left is relays. So she's got those individual championships out of the way. We'll have the boys 100 fly next. And I'll go ahead and read the lineup here for the first heat. Raman Mirza, Bentonville High School. Carson Putnam, Bentonville West. David Sabu, Bentonville West. Jesse Gladden, Bryant High School. Cooper Trailer, Central. Forrest Field, Bentonville High School. Christian Longo, Conway. And Sean Beck, Little Rock, North Little Rock.
All right.
Again, the state record set, the oldest state record in the book, set by Ellis Miller in 2009 from Siloam Springs High School.
The top seed in this first heat, Jace Gladden from Bryan, 56.9. He's right there with the second heat, so he's definitely in a position where, as we saw earlier, and so is Cooper Trailer from Central. In fact, the top 3 seeds could upset and get into the top 8.
It's very important in butterfly to get out to a lead. There's a lot of waves on that, and most people breathe going forward. So if you can get a lead, you're going to have less likely to swallow water and those sort of things. So it's probably important to the center lanes to get a lead there.
Looks like lane 4 is going out pretty strong here from Jace.
Jace Gladden from Bryant High School. Again, he's out in 26:72, so he's got to come back in 30 to hit his seed time. Excuse me, getting a challenge from Cooper Trailer from
Sure
Central.
is. That's good. The two are keeping pace. The rest of the heat's falling off a little bit. Looks like we got some goggles that fell off there in lane 3.
Yeah, I see
Never
that.
fun.
Yeah, he's struggling with that, unfortunately. It happens to the best of them. It happened
Sure
to
does.
Olympic champion in the 100 breaststroke. So Lydia Jacoby is the name I was trying to think of. 56:84 in lane 4 for Jace Gladden from Bryant High School.
Beat his seed time.
Second, 56:91 was lane 5, which was Cooper Trailer from Central. Should be a good race here. Isaac Lee in lane 4 was 4th last year.
So we got Jacob Herzog from Cabot in 1, Millen Holland from Central in 2, Keys from Bentonville in 3, Lee from Isaac Lee in Harbor 4, Joshua Smith Central in 5, Josh Reynolds Central in 6, Dylan Springate Fayetteville in 7, and Zach Vanzler from Bentonville in 8.
Yeah, Joshua Smith is right there, pretty close across in lanes 3, 4, and 5. That's Jackson Keys, the freshman, Isaac Lee from Harbor, and Joshua Smith from Central. They're all right together.
They sure are. This is a tight race between the
Jackson
three in the middle.
Keys, a freshman, is doing very well. He's very long, grown a lot, very good butterflyer.
He seems to be setting the pace right now.
Yeah, he looks like he's got it. Must be that good form when he raced me at the outdoor meet this past summer.
But Joshua Smith is charging here under the flags. It's a touch.
Jackson Keys got it, 51-58.
2 100s in lane 5 there.
Yeah.
Joshua Smith, 51.60. So don't count your eggs before they're hatched. That was a 2 100 touch in lane 4, 52.28 from Isaac Lee. So that was a tight race from those three.
Congratulations to freshman Jackson Keys, though. That was an excellent swim. I tried to call a little bit early, and he was tying up a little bit there. But
well, eggs. I'm in the egg business, so I had to throw that out there.
absolutely, that was one of my events in high school that I swam in. So take particular interest. But great swim by Jackson Keys. All three of those athletes across.
Well, and as a freshman
pretty
to come
close.
in and do that with those two strong swimmers next to him. Isaac Lee is a junior this year, and Joshua Smith, I believe, a junior as well. So what a great race.
I often get to swim next to Jackson on the morning, so he usually swims in the lane next to me. So
maybe there's a 50 fly challenge coming your way.
we swam next to each other at Memorial Park a couple of years ago. He was only about 13, and I got him, but I think that was the last time I'll beat him.
Take him when you can get him. I know how that is. Take him when you can get him. All right, so next up we have the girls 100 free. We're working through awards here, I believe, for the girls 50 free.
There's a really good chance of Zoe Smith breaking Taylor Pike's state record here. Taylor Pike has the state record leading off the 400 free relay from 2017, 51:43. Zoe Smith went 51:8 last year, and I think she's been 50-point in some club meets, so she's got a great chance of the Little Rock Central swimmer has a great chance of winning that event and breaking that state record.
Finishing awards for the ladies 50 free. Caroline Costantini first, breaking the 24 mark, 23:98. I want to say second there. They're off a little too quick. We'll transition to the boys here. 50 freestyle.
Well, the swimmers are walking in front of us after their race, Fred, heading to the warm-down pool. We get to see some happy swimmers coming and some parents greeting them as well.
We sure do. There's a good mood to the entire deck right now. There's a lot of people who are having some good times, I think, enjoying themselves and competing. Nothing better than that.
Oh, absolutely.
Scott mentioned this earlier, but there's seen at least the Hendricks coach, and there are a couple other college coaches. A couple years ago when Leanne was a senior, last year, Wisconsin was here to recruit Leanne Yu. So you'll often see some college swimmers. We're keeping our eyes open and looking around, and you'll see them coming out to recruit swimmers here live.
Yeah, Hendricks, which is Division III, they've had their conference meet already, set several records. Tony Marcelino used to be the one of the assistant coaches here, but the SEC coaches are all at the meet this week in Auburn, and the ACC are at the meet in Greensboro, North Carolina. So some of the programs can't attend this, but not everybody swims Division I. Some of the smaller classifications will be well represented to view athletes to help their program at this meet.
Absolutely. So the boys awards are now finishing up. We got the girls 100 free coming up next. Should be an interesting race with Zoe Smith, as you mentioned, from last year, the defending champion. Caroline Costantini, who just won the 50 right next to her, and then Ellie Schrank, who's a backstroker but does a lot of freestyle as well. And Rebecca Burnett's in there as well. She was third in the 50.
Yeah, Ellie was second last year, and Ellie's a really good sprinter. More of those fast twitch fibers like Caroline is, but should be a good race. 100 free is you want to go out fast but controlled and come back, and usually the person is rewarded on their ability to come home and some of that last length fast. So 100 free was one of my better events, and I'm looking forward to watching this. I kind of think that it should be a close race, but Zoe Smith's got a great chance at this state record, and Ellie and Caroline are also great swimmers, so we'll see what happens in this.
It'll be interesting. It'll be definitely interesting.
So again, 100 free, 4 lengths to the pool, and you want to make sure you breathe a lot that first 50 and probably hold your breath a little bit the coming home. So the swimmers work a lot on hypoxic and holding their breath and some different things like that. But in general, there is definitely, it's not just an all-out sprint like the 50. There's some strategy. All right, we have the girls 100 free. I'll read the lineup after they start. Lane 1, Sylvia Hunter Rogers. Lane 2, Bella Marquardt from Bentonville High School. Lane 3, Hannah Perry, Bentonville High School. Lane 4, Allie Sale, Fayetteville. Lane 5, Lila Corbin, Fayetteville. Lane 6, Ellen Jackson, Mount St. Mary's. Lane 7, Hannah Layton, Conway. Lane 8, Catherine Johnson, Rogers.
Once again, the middle lanes typically have faster seeds in all these races, so lane 4 is out fast with Allie Sale from Fayetteville taking the lead here. Pushing her is her teammate next to her, Lily Corbin. And then Hannah Perry is right there too in lane 3. So as Scott said, the back half of this race is essential.
And you'll notice a lot of white water behind them. They really will kick hard in this event. 6-beat kick the whole way, and this last length they're going to be putting their head down. We see Coach Liz Taylor strongly encouraging some of these athletes to move up for some points.
Touch here, my goodness, out of lane 5, 58-25. Lily Corbin, what a great finish for her. 58-68. Her teammate next to her, Allie Sale, was second, and then third, 58-85, Hannah Perry from Bentonville.
Well, the top 3 finishers are all back this year. Last year, Zoe won, Ellie Schrank was 2, and Caroline Costantini 3. So let me go over this lineup. Heidi Nelson, lane 1 from Bentonville West. Haroldson, lane 3, Ellie Schrank, Bentonville West. Lane 4, Zoe Smith, Central. Lane 5, Caroline Costantini, Bentonville. Lane 6, Rebecca Burnett, Mount St. Mary's. Lane 8, Meredith Lipsy, Central. And that's lane 7, and lane 8, Meredith Buzzle, Fayetteville.
It looks like Zoe has a lead. Caroline's pushing her there in second, with Schrank right there in third. No surprise there as they turn.
She flips at 24:49. Wow. She's got to come back in 27 to get that state record. 27 flat.
25 flat, and Schrank at 24:539. So it's close, and Schrank can close. So we'll see what happens here. Looks like Zoe's got a pretty sizable lead here with Schrank and Costantini in second and third. That's a close race.
See if she can get that state record.
49.
She got it, 50.83, a new state record for Zoe Smith, racing the record from Bentonville's Taylor Pike, set in 2017 by 0.6 of a second.
Looks like Schrank was second, 52.14, and Costantini was third at 52.51. So a lot of good swims there.
Great swim. In the men's 100 free, or the boys 100 free, Ryan Husband has the state record set in 2020 at 44.91. He is swimming that event tonight in Auburn in the B final at the SECs.
In lane 1, William Coles from Conway. Lane 2, Brady Norman from Conway. Jack Young in lane 3 from Harbor. Brody Hutchins from Bryan. And 4, Judah Spence from Bentonville West. In 5, Daniel Bellin from Bentonville West. And 6, Noah Sullivan in 7 from Harbor. And Simon Deming from Fayetteville in lane 8.
Got a couple Bentonville West swimmers here. Bentonville's got 4 in the event, so very good swimming out. 24.76 in lane 5. That's Judah Spence from Bentonville West. He looks to maintain the lead. Lane 3 is giving him a strong challenge. That's Jack Young from Harbor High School. And again, valuable points, even if they don't move up. That's 9 points for winning this heat. So if you move up one place, that's 2 extra points that he's going to get for the Bentonville High School Tigers.
Looks like Spence has the crutch here. 51. No, he didn't. Looks like lane 3, 51.62.
Absolutely.
Alex, help me.
Okay.
Harbor, Jack Young.
He came back. So
He sure did.
Yofang Yu is favored in this. He's got a seat time of 45.71. They went in a dual meet here. He looks to win this event.
So Lehman from Bentonville in lane 1. Milliholland from Central in lane 2. Batterina from Fayetteville in lane 3. Yu in lane 4 from Bentonville. Flag from Central in lane 5. Brockland in lane 6 from Bentonville. Eberhard from Conway in lane 7. And Bador from Bentonville in lane 8. And Yofang is really out fast.
Yeah, he's got great underwater. He's out in 21.95. That's fantastic. A little ahead of lane 5. 22.76 from Brooke Flag from Central. But Yofang is extending his lead. He's really riding high on the water, and that kick really propels him ahead.
He's going to need a 23 flat to break the state record. I don't know if he's got that, but
Yeah.
he sure is making a run at it.
Only a sophomore, so got a couple more years to break that. So he's got 45.92, an excellent time. Second place in lane 5 was Brooke Flag from Central High School. In third place in lane 6 was Ezra Brockland from Bentonville High School. So Bentonville in first and third. That's 36 points more for the Bentonville Tigers, and they had 4 in that last heat. So they scored quite a few points, also getting 5th and 6th with Ethan Bredor and Zach Lehman. So let's see, that's over 50 points they got in that race.
Wow.
So 4 in the last heat. That's pretty impressive.
Sure is.
Well, Yofang didn't get it today. He, I would say probably by the time he's a senior, that 44.91 of Ryan's probably in jeopardy.
Yeah, he's definitely, he's got some skills. Strong young man, one of the strongest swimmers we've ever seen come through Arkansas. And he rides the water very high and well, too, for the size and strength he has. So big things coming from Mr. Yofang Yu over the next few years, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And so just, for state records in this, the state record was set by David Jean in 1983, and he held that all the way to 2007 when Ellis Miller broke it. And then Ellis Miller had it until Ryan Husband broke it. So anyway, not that many people over a 40-year time frame.
Wow. Yeah, that's very few hold the state record.
We're getting rave reviews.
We're going to have the 500 freestyle right after these events. And anyway, we just talked about Coach Tony at Hendricks. He just walked by us here. So again, coaches the Hendricks Warriors, Division III. They had an excellent season. So we got the awards here for the 100 fly.
In third place, Grace Esteban from Cabot High School. In second place, Sophia McAfee from Springdale High School. And in first place, Addison Wigman from Rogers High School with a time of 56.28.
As you can see from the camera here, we have a lot of people lined up, and parents and coaches and things, to take pictures of those 100 fly finalists and stuff, and the top 6 get on the podium. So basically, a lot of proud people and a lot of hard work going into those awards. So now the boys' awards for the 100 fly, where Jackson Keys won that event. We'll listen to the public address announcer here.
Fifth place. Fourth place, Dylan Stewart, Bentonville High School. In third place, Isaac Lee, Harvard High School. Second place, Joshua Smith, Central High School. And in first place, Jackson Keys from Bentonville High School with a time of 51:58.
Obviously, not many freshmen get to win that event, especially in boys and the flying. So congratulations to Jackson Keys of Bentonville High School for winning that event. So next up is going to be the 500 free. And we have a couple defending champions. On the girls' side, you have Emma on the Hill from Bentonville High School, who's committed to University of Northern Colorado in Greeley. And you have Connor Boatwright, who probably won't even be challenged. He'll probably win this by close to a length. And he's committed to Missouri. He's a junior national qualifier and is placed at those things. And he's very good in a lot of different freestyle events, 400 AM, 200 back, 200 fly swims, all the hard events, right, Fred?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, he's a sniff off of Olympic trials time. So Connor is a excellent distance swimmer, amazing endurance. Coach Mo down at Razorback Aquatics has trained him to a very elite level, and he's doing amazing things. And Missouri's got to be excited to have him, right?
Oh, absolutely. I talked to Andrew Grievers about him when he was recruiting him. So, you know, it's fun with that. And he, you know, a good kid too. I think he's been on the national team for the Aqua Hogs since he was 10. So, anyway, it is a pleasure to watch him. So, as we get ready for the first heat, we're going to have plenty of time. So, in the 500 free, I'll announce it after the start. Lane 1, Savannah Berry, Springdale. Lane 2, Ava Drouse, North Little Rock. Lane 3, Emma Moreau, Bentonville High School. Lane 4, Grace Simon, Fort Smith Southside. She was 8th in this event last year. Lane 5, Candace Digman from Fayetteville. Lane 6, Autumn Mills Central. Lane 7, Ava Johnson, Fort Smith Southside. And lane 8, Ella Hornberger, Fayetteville High School. So, some varying strategies here, Fred, in the 500-yard freestyle. Most people try to even pace the hundreds. I know this was one of our better events. I had this record at Missouri for a number of years, but I always probably negative split it, and that's how I swam it. How did you swim it, Fred?
You know, I swam it a bit in college, but I would probably be out a little bit faster often. I mean, not pretty even, but I like to set the pace when I swam distance events, so I would tend to go out a little bit more on the 200. But I think you see people who do it right, and they just burn out too much when they go too fast. So understanding and, you know, experience, swimming it over and over again is how you learn and learn to swim this race right, because it can be tricky.
And again, Grace Simon, who was 8th in this event last year, is setting the pace, and she's pretty well.
Sure is.
The other thing is, I used to go my first 100 pretty fast. I could go a good 100, and then I would try to set into a pace.
Right.
And then the last 200, I'd come back. But nothing like the swimmers you see at the national level that go like 4:06 or something like that. They're pretty incredible. And they go, you know, under 50 seconds for every 100. So great. Again, Grace Simon is from Fort Smith Southside, is out pretty good, trying to maintain it. And one of the things you try to do, if you notice there's not as much whitewater, there's not as much kicking. Grace has got a 6-beat kick, but most of them will do a 2-beat kick and kind of settle into a pace there. You notice there's swimmers or teammates of theirs at the end of the length, and what they're doing is counting them. This is 20 lengths, and so I think most swimmers keep count, but just to make sure you get somebody out there to make sure they're doing that, and that's one less thing you have to worry about as a swimmer. So
absolutely. Hey, I always needed a counter, I can tell you that, Scott. But I'm telling you, this young lady up front here is really setting a nice pace. And as you said last year, I think you said at the beginning, She was 8th last year in the meet, right? So she looks like she intends to try and score again for her team. Grace Simon from Fort Smith right now.
Yeah, she trains for the Fort Smith swim team, coached by Tom Bullock. Good program there. They swim in a 23.5-yard pool in the winter and with a bubble. So I swam down there not long ago, and it made me good for my ego to see some good times and some of those splits.
I'd like that. Yeah, I mean, I'll have to join you on that one next time. She's just steadily dropping 34s, or 33s rather, and you can see she's got the endurance because she's not falling off her pace at all.
And looking at the team scores, you also have Emma Moreau, who is in lane 3. She's a freshman from Bentonville, and she's trying to pick up valuable points for her team there. Looks like that Grace is holding 34s, so with that pace, she'll beat her seed time type of thing. So looks like that Emma Moreau is close to second with lane 7. Ava Johnson from Fort Smith Southside, another freshman. So she's probably got her own race strategy in mind, and
Grace
just doing that.
Up there to 34 too, so she's still hanging strong. But and the confusing thing in this race for someone who maybe walks in on it is some of these heats you can have somebody lap somebody or catch them in a 50. So the lead, so everyone knows if you're watching this, is still in lane 4 with Grace, but there's some other swimmers at a different pace who are being passed, so it can get confusing.
And the state record is held by Jenny Holston, who swam at Fayetteville High School and swam collegiately at University of Wisconsin. As a junior, she swam different events as a senior to try to break state records in that, which she did, but she did that as a junior, 4:48.28, and she had excellent turns, which was one of the ways, but when she won that, she won by almost a 50, so I believe that Jessie Nemesi from Bentonville High School was second in that particular race. As a senior, swam at University of Northern Iowa. So got some trivia there. But anyway.
Encyclopedia, right?
Trying. But Grace Simon looks very good on this particular race.
33.9. She dropped her 50s down back under 34, and she's bringing her legs in. She, as you said, she's been 6 feet kicking the whole thing, but she's stepping it up here. I think she really wants to score points for her team. You can see coming out of the second heat.
And, there is some coaching. So we look over here, and the athlete in lane 3, Emma Moreau, Mark Gohl, who's one of her coaches, he's got his hands up. She looked over on her left side over to him to say that, hey, she's right on the pace that she wants to do. And the coaches and athletes will talk about that strategy before they go. It looks like 5:32.20 for
That's quite
Grace.
a drop.
Quite a drop, and looks like that will probably move her up. They got a great race for third here. Second, rather, lane 3, 5:46.77. That's Emma Moreau,
Good swim.
Bentonville High School.
And then rounding it out there, I think that's lane 6, if I'm not mistaken, Autumn Mills from Central. She came in at 5:52.1. So some good swims out of that first heat. This next heat's going to be interesting. As you said there, Scott, Emma on the hill, defending champion Ashley Koenig, University of South Dakota commit with that 5:03's top seed time. Autumn Milford is a very, very strong distance swimmer. A lot of endurance from her too. She's the 3rd seed. And then the young gun, Ella Butcher, who came in 3rd in the 200 IM. She's right there at 5:14 as well.
Yeah, and again, Emma and Autumn were 1-2 last year, so we'll see. It looks like, I think this will be a great race, and I'll give the lineup right after the gun. Lane 1, Bella McDonald, Little Rock Central. Lane 2, Lexi Boxes, freshman Bentonville. Autumn Milford, lane 3, Bentonville West. Ashley Koenig, Fayetteville High School, a senior, lane 4. Lane 5, Emma on the Hill, Bentonville High School. Lane 6, Ella Butcher, freshman from Bentonville West. Lane 7, Heidi Nelson, Bentonville High School. And lane 8, Molly Sutton, Conway High School.
Got a little more time to get those names out. That's kind of nice. It looks like Ella Butcher, the young freshman, is setting the pace here. I like the intensity. She went out right there in 27.88. The rest of the heat is 28 to 29. So she must have a strategy in place here that she's going to get it out after, huh, Scott?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But I think that strategy is As Sam Freeze, my son's college coach, used to say, get on it. So I think that's what she's doing.
She's getting on it, and she did in the 200 IM as well. And looks like Ashley Koenig's moving up a little bit on her here. Most of the heat splitting 30s there, and the 4 of them are starting to line up a little bit. Autumn and Emma are also right there. So the 4 ladies who are top seeds, and then right behind them, Lexi Boscus there. What a swimmer who's come along a long way for Bentonville High School. Swims for NWA and Mark Gold as well. She's really a competitor, a little young still. She's a freshman, but look for her to keep moving up in this race.
Yeah, Emma on the Hill won this race last year, and she negative split it, and she is in second right now. It looks like lane 4. Ashley Koenig just took the lead, but we expect kind of back and forth here from that.
That's a strong move for Emma to come up that early in the race. I see her moving right into position, so she's serious as a defending champion about defending her title for sure. She's put herself in the lead, it looks like, going into the 200 here.
You can't really see it here, but the banners for all the seniors are hanging on the west wall here, and it's quite impressive to see. I think it's a great tribute to the seniors that have worked very hard, and some of the younger swimmers really look up to those banners, so hopefully it keeps more people in the sport longer. But anyway,
it's a great tradition, Scott. I remember when I first got here to Arkansas and seeing that. It's a wonderful thing, and it, like you said, it motivates the kids, and it's a special recognition.
And they copied it from the football team, because the football team puts those in up at the tack. But whatever they did, I think it works, and I think it's very effective. It looks like Emma is just taking the lead here. And
she's popping off 30.4. Ashley's at 30.8, so that's the pace they're holding per 50, so everyone knows that Emma's pushing herself to the front of this with Ashley close behind.
Autumn Milford has moved up to 3rd. Ella Butcher is still hanging in there as well. She's dropped off a little bit, but she went out really fast.
Maybe a little too much for the young freshman. But she is still in the race and keeping herself in.
They're at the 300, so that means they have 8 lengths to go. I really like the way that Emma on the Hill swam this. She looks excellent on that. It's always great to get under 5 minutes. I don't think she's done that yet. It looks like she's an outside shot at doing that if she negative splits it, but she's trying to defend her title and win 2 in a row for the Bentonville Tigers. Looks like Ashley has moved over towards the lane up to try to get a little draft off Emma.
She's squeezing over there next to her, and they're neck and neck. Emma's got maybe a quarter body length lead, has her right in her sights, but Ashley's moving around the lane a little bit. Autumn Milford right there with him. I mean, she was seated a little bit slower, but she's right there in terms of keeping herself in the race.
Yeah, a great kid too. Great student. She just picked up her head and looked over at the competition, so we'll see if they can go 1-2 again. I guess, does Ashley swim for the Aqua Hogs?
Ashley's an Aqua Hog swimmer, yeah, with Coach Mo down there at the Aqua Hogs. She's a junior national qualifier, South Dakota commit, and a very strong distance swimmer. Trains a lot with Susie Lee, so those two are always pushing each other in practice.
Yeah, I'm sure Susie likes the competition. She's very competitive. So it looks like Emma is ahead, but nobody's onto this. These top 3 are all very close. It looks like Emma on the Hill is first, and it looks like Ashley Koenig is second, and then Autumn Milford third. As they come up on the 450, they have,
Bell lap. This is the bell lap, so the final
2 laps to go.
Emma's really turning it up here.
Look at the kick from Autumn Milford trying to get a second place for Bentonville West. She looks like she's right there.
She's moving herself into position. We'll see what happens for second on this final 50.
She came right up on that turn. She could have stayed under a little longer, but it looks like Emma on the Hill is going to have 2 in a row. And determined Autumn Milford looks like she's going to grab second for the second year in a row. Fantastic. So that's Emma on the Hill, 5:02. She looks happy, a big smile. She looked at the scoreboard. Autumn Milford, 5:04.11. Great second place finish. That was an excellent race.
Very good, very good. And then rounding out that top 3, Ashley Koenig at 5:04.872. So it was very competitive with those 3 girls.
And the lady that set the early lead, Ella, she hang on for 4th place. So again, a lot of points for
A lot of points.
Bentonville and Bentonville West in this particular race.
That 5:13.8 for Ella's better than her seed time, so a little bit fast going out, but she hung on and battled and kept herself on the podium, so great job by her as well.
Really, a lot of times, and you won't see a close race in this men's 500 free to be Connor Boatwright in the last heat, but that was exciting to watch, some of the strategy and some of the things, and I think the ladies helped themselves push to faster times by the competition right next to them.
Yeah, Emma's tactics were impressive. She let everybody go for a little bit and then decided she was going to assert her will, and she did so. So, great race. Okay, so on the boys' side, first heat, Evan Thomas from Fayetteville in lane 1, Asher Cook in lane 2 from Fort Smith, North Fort Smith, Jaden Lehmans from Central in lane 3, Ross Looker from Bentonville West in 4, Trey Hudlow from Fort Smith North in lane 5, Noah Rankin from Fayetteville in lane 6, Eli Young from Cabot in lane 7, and Cole Carper rounding it out in lane 8 for Catholic.
The state record in this event is held by Connor Boatwright. He'll be in the next heat from Harbor High School, 4:25.16. He broke the state record that was previously held by Antonio Thomas, who swam for Haas Hall High School and eventually for Missouri State. Was an Olympic trial qualifier in the 1500. So excellent swimmer, and Connor probably has eyes to go faster. Very competitive kid, along with being a good stroke. So we'll see what he does in the next heat. But in this first heat, 5:24s, or the first two gentlemen are within 5/100ths of a second, but lane 5, who is Trey Hudlow, is going on after it from Fort Smith North Side for the Grizzlies.
He's pushing the pace right now, a little bit what we saw in that last heat from the freshman, but we'll see what happens here. He's out fast. He's got a good over body length lead on the rest of the heat, but you know, this race progresses differently. Each one out at the 150 here.
Yeah, and usually what will happen is that some of these, everybody's got their own strategy, and a 500, you're going to probably swim your own race and not get into that. But it looks like Noah Rankin from Fayetteville High School is starting to move up in lane 6.
Yeah, he sure is. Looks like those two are setting the pace.
And Fort Smith has a couple high schools, and again, all those athletes are coached by Tom Bullock, who coaches both the high school teams as well. So we'll see. It looks like that Noah Rankin is doing pretty well, but lanes 4 and 5 have the fastest season this heat coming in. That's Ross Lucan from Bentonville West and Trey Hudlow. So we'll see what happens here. Lanes 3 and 4 are moving up a little bit, but still early pace as we get to the halfway mark of this race is being set by Trey Hudlow from Fort Smith Northside.
Yep, he's still setting the pace. There are folks coming closer and closer next to him.
You'll notice some of these swimmers, as they get near the end of the race, go get some oxygen debt, or their back will turn a little red, and that means they're really working it. They try to lower the temperature of the water to be like 78 degrees as they get into there, and I think that'll keep the people from overheating. But in the scheme of things, a 500 free is not that long of a race, about 5 minutes. It's the longest one they competed in the high school, but I think these distance swimmers really like the cooler temperatures.
Well, they sure do. That was one of the first things I noticed coming to Arkansas from Florida was sometimes the temperatures are a little warm for meets, but I think in this case they brought the temperature down a little bit and made it right for the kids.
They did. The warm-up pool, it will be about 87 degrees because it's normally a recreational pool, and so the athletes need to warm up, go over there. It looks like as he comes up about the 350, that athlete in the lead, Trey Hudlow, is starting to pick his head up a little bit more to breathe. It looks like lane 4, who is Ross Lucan from Bentonville West, is starting to reel him down, but he's got a sizable lead as they come up to that. And again, they're about 10 seconds off the 8th place time, but he's gone out pretty fast.
Jaden Lehmans is sneaking up here in lane 3 too. He was a good body length and a half back, so a lot can happen still. We got a
100 to go.
Full 100 to go. So there's two guys moving up on the lead here.
And they are just starting to bring in their kicks. So bring in their legs. Their arms are probably getting tired. They're feeling it. And you'll see them bring in a 6-beat kick as they come into the last 100. A lot of enthusiastic teammates and parents, you know, and we have this B final of the year, or the first heat of the 500 free.
It sure is, and it does look like Trey is holding his position. He really saw the field coming, breathing, as you said, in that last ladies race to the side, going in one direction, and he sees them coming, and he's pushing back and really finding a little extra here.
Yeah, it looks like Ross Lucan is trying to catch him, but I don't think he's got enough pool left to catch him. But they're both going to beat their seed times.
Wow, they really have a lot left here and pushing it at the end here. Trey Hudlow.
Yeah, it looks like they're both their seed times from 5:24. Looks like 5:16,
good drop,
88, and 5:18.70. So quite a bit of drop there. Little Rock Central came in third with Jaden Lehmans here.
Jaden Lehman snuck up there on the outside to take third. What a good heat. And a lot of drops from a lot of swimmers in that 500 free. A lot of energy here too, as you said.
Yeah, the decibel alarm on my watch just went off saying we were exceeding 90 decibels. So a lot of parents showing a lot of enthusiasm. I actually really love that, so that's great.
Love it for the 500. This is the longest race in the meet, and they deserve the support. So, all right, we have our championship heat here. In lane 1, Gavin Belay from Bentonville. In lane 2, Caleb Guthrie from Bentonville West. In lane 3, Dane Vasquez from Bentonville. Lane 4, your state championship champion, Connor Boatwright from last year. Lane 5 from Bentonville, Jack Wilowski. In lane 6, Yasan Bagat from Central. Diego Romero Flores from Fayetteville in lane 7, and Raman Muser from Bentonville in lane 8.
Connor Boatwright out to an early lead, 25-10. We have a lot of returning medalists from last year. Connor Boatwright was first last year, Dane Vasquez second, Jack Wiglarski was third, and Caleb Guthrie was fourth. So Yasin Bagat was sixth. His brother swims at the University of South Carolina as well, Little Rock Central athlete. So Connor is out in the 100 at about 52 low, 27 flat. So that's a pretty good time. If he continued that time, that's a 4:20 pace. He might fall off of that. You notice he's got not quite a 6-beat kick, but a 4 or 5-beat kick going out. And if you look at the way Connor swims, he rides really high in the water and just very efficient, breathing every stroke as most distance swimmers will do. And only taking 12 strokes of length, and at his height, that's very impressive. So
Connor has, what you see a lot with him from being down there with him at the Jones Center a lot is the hip propulsion is really amazing. I mean, it is the kick, but it's also the fact that in swimming, the core of your body can make a huge difference. And Connor shifts those hips and gets to his catch in the front of his stroke, which is where you grab the water. And he is one of the best I've ever seen at doing that. And he's showing that right here with a really nice takeout at 147, it looked like there at the 200. So.
Kind of an interesting observation here, but his club teammate, Gage Johnson, is counting for him. He's from Bentonville High School, and so obviously they're good friends, and they train together every day, and he's probably rooting for him to do that. And there's a lot of friendships, even though they might represent different high schools and things, and I think that's great that he's doing that. He comes around the halfway point at 2:14 or so. And he is looking at that, looking really smooth. Lane 3 is second right now, and that's Dane Vasquez. And he also looks pretty smooth. And Connor Boatwright might win this for close to a 50. He's pulling ahead, even though these other athletes are pretty good. I think that Dane Vasquez has the best time in the 4:30s, so that's pretty impressive as well.
Yeah, Connor flipped right there, Scott, at 27.1, so he looks like he's turning up a notch. I think he planned to swim the back half of this a little harder, so it really looks good. Dane is kind of clearly in second there, right?
Yeah, and even though Connor is a great distance swimmer, like Fred said, he swims the 1650 and the 1500. You're close to Olympic trials. he's developed into a pretty good sprinter the last couple of years. Swims a pretty good 100 free, 100 fly. Just a great overall swimmer, and really loves the sport. And he's good at open water and those sort of things. So I expect good things from him for University of Missouri next year.
Well, you sure hope so, right?
Yeah.
Zoo grad. You got.
That's right. I'll go see him at homecoming and things like that. So Dane Boskis is holding on to second quite firmly. Looks like Bentonville High School's Jack Wolarski is third, and Caleb Guthrie from Bentonville West is fourth. So Harbor is going to win this. Bentonville and Bentonville West are going to be second, third, and fourth. So we have some traffic going in front of us. I couldn't see for a second, but
Caleb Guthrie's moving into good position there. He might be looking at that third place position. That's size 50 for him.
Yeah, he works pretty hard, and looks like we're getting the bell length right here. Looks like he's going to be slightly off of what his state record is, but still going to be in the 420s, which is an excellent swim.
He's pouring it on now. You can see the white water increasing. And
yeah, he made to a 6-beat kick and
pushing into the water.
So we'll see what this time is. It's going to be the 420s, but we'll see if he can get under that state record.
Yeah, he's coming into the wall here for the touch. He's definitely under 30.
4:29.71. So great time for Connor Boatwright to win that. Looks like that second place is going to be Dane Boskis from Bentonville, the sophomore, for the second year in a row. He's second. Caleb Guthrie looks like
he fell off a little that last 100, third place.
Yes.
He came in 4:48.09 for Jack.
Yep, and Caleb Guthrie, who was fourth last year, is fourth again this year at 4:53.00. So
see the seed time.
Looks like 7 athletes were under 5 minutes there, which is pretty impressive. And it looks like the gentleman Trey Hudlow is going to finish in 8th place from his time from the previous heat. So
excellent,
great swim on those 500 freestyles. Well, we're going to have some relays next, so it's going to get loud again as we get to 200 freestyle relay. The state record was set 10 years ago by Bentonville High School, and it was set by Alexa Tenenko, Alexis Abernathy, Ansel Chun, swam at Vanderbilt, and Emily Horton. So that record was very impressive when it was set with some college swimmers there, and we'll see if the Bentonville West or Bentonville can come close to that this year.
Yeah, impressive. That's one of the older ones that have hung on, 138.14. Bentonville West had a pretty good relay last year. I want to say that was down around 139 flat or 38 high. So, yeah, this will be interesting to see these two teams chase that down. As you said, Bentonville West is seated first with the 140.38, so pretty close. And Bentonville 143.52, I think they might have something up their sleeve. They may have a little better than that coming up here with the foursome they have going. So this will be a fun race.
Stacked the medley, and they may be not putting their best athletes on this 200 free relay and save it for the 400 free relay, but we'll see. The other thing that's important is these swimmers that swam the 500, they probably won a 5-minute race approximately really fast. So they're quickly heading to the warm-up pool and getting ready to swim down and things. Looks like Bentonville West has got, well, it looks like Addie Payne and Jenna Gogol. Looks like they have that stacked.
Well, they're allowed to list up to 8 names on the roster, so you just don't know who they're going to choose out of those 8. They're allowed to the last minute to make changes, but West with a faster seed time is going to have a tough time beating Bentonville in that 400 free relay. So there's a lot of tactics with these relays, as you mentioned, because you can only swim on 2, and you got to move kids around and figure out what the best combination is. So.
The other thing is Ellie Schrank is not going to be on this relay. She's an excellent 50 freestyler, but she's got the 100 back as the next event, and it's going to have a tough race.
Unlikely they'd use her here, right?
Yeah.
Unlikely, yeah.
So, again, these relays are a little bit simpler, just down and back, 4 different swimmers. So kind of splash and dash, and the interchanges or the takeoffs for the relay are really important on this.
Absolutely. A DQ is fatal. I know Coach Liz last night with the Bentonville team said, hey, safe starts, and so far today they have been safe because as you said earlier, double the points in the relays. You lose a relay with a DQ, disqualification, big swing for a team. So you got to be safe.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, there is most of the people will take that pretty well. I'm sure Bentonville's got a big lead, but they're always going to have somewhat of safe starts for those type of things. So anyway, I just prompted myself to look at the scores as it comes up.
We have not done one. That's a good idea. Awards are wrapping up here, and we'll get going with this 200 free relay.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in here. There's
a big group, and the deck space is ample, but a little tight.
Yeah, most facilities will have stands where you would have a few more people. But looking at the team scores that are listed currently on Meet Mobile, you have Bentonville High School on the women's side. Bentonville High School is in first, and with 403.5 points. That was men. Okay, so and first in the women, Bentonville High School with 338 points. Bentonville West is second with 214 points. Fayetteville with 163. Central with 138. Springdale with 93. Conway 78. Cabot 76. Mount St. Mary's 69. Rogers 56. And to round out the top 10, Fort Smith Southside with 55. On the men's side, Bentonville's got a more than second and third combined, but they have 403 points. Central, Little Rock Central is 210. Bentonville West 158. Fayetteville 155, Conway 117, Harbor 408, Bryant 70, Cabot 45, North Little Rock 35, and Fort Smith Northside 23 to round out the top 10. So Bentonville has this well in hand, but I'm sure they're looking to continue that and put the hammer down and get some good times in this meet. So we're getting ready, it looks like, for the 200 free relay. For the girls first. 200
free relay, the first heat of the girls. We have North Little Rock and A in 1, Fort Smith A and B, or sorry, A and 3, Rogers in 4, Catholic Mount St. Mary's in 5, and then Bryan in 6 in this first heat. So only 5 of the 8 lanes being used for this first relay. And they're off.
And there's a qualifying time. And that's why, you know, since they broke up the different classifications, you do have to hit a qualifying time to get into that. Looks like
Rogers may have led off with Addison Wicklund, our champion in the 100 fly and 200 IM, and she has taken it to this first heat on the first 50. 25-25.
Yeah, very impressive start there. She's an excellent swimmer. Got them off for some clean water and a big lead there.
Sure did. That's a strong lead. Rogers is in control of this first heat so far, but it does look like in lane 3, Fort Smith is moving into position, and in lane 5, Mount St. Mary is moving into position, actually taking the lead as we go to the third leg. Rogers and St. Mary's duking it out with Fort Smith in third. Fourth looks like Bryan out there in lane 6.
Looks like lane 3, which is Fort Smith Southside, moving up a little bit.
Yes, it is. It's going to be pretty close here going into the exchange, actually. All 3 teams together.
Wow, really slow reactions there. They wanted to make sure they didn't get DQ'd.
That was beyond a safe start.
Looks like Rogers is going to come back and win this.
Sure are. It looks like lane 3, Fort Smith is with that slow exchange from St. Mary's moving into second. Rogers is definitely well and has a handle for this heat as they touch the wall coming up here in 150.20 Rogers High School. Out there in lane 6, that looks like lane 6 Bryant, 151.97.
Yeah, it looks like that they're a couple seconds off the seed times for the second heat, but we're not sure what to expect here. But Bentonville West was second in this event last year. Little Rock Central won it. So we'll see. Zoe Smith's going to anchor this for Little Rock Central, it looks like. So she could come up with a really good time here.
Yeah, we'll see. Little Rock Central, I'm sure, loaded this up to take their shot at winning.
Is that Zoe leading off?
It sure looks like her.
Yeah.
So lane 1 is Harbor, lane 2 Central, lane 3 Fayetteville, 4 Bentonville West, 5 Bentonville, 6 Springdale, 7 Conway, and then lane 8 Cabot. And yes, that does look like Zoe Smith.
Yeah, Zoe Smith is leading off. The state record is held by Bella Cothran. She has an outside shot at this, leading off the relay.
Let's see what she has. She definitely looks like she's planning to go 23 here, so she'll touch the wall. Zoe Smith at 23:46 in lane 2.
The state record was 23:39, so she missed it by 7 100ths.
7 100ths missed the state record, and she put her team in a sizable lead here, but Bentonville and Bentonville West are charging. Looks like Bentonville's West is in second right now.
Little Rock Central is the defending champion in this, and they got a slight lead over Bentonville West. Looks like Addie Payne is going in for Bentonville West here.
And she is closing the gap for sure.
Wow, so we have really a close race between Bentonville West and Little Rock Central for first place here.
Sure do. Looks like Bentonville's in third, about a little over a body length back. Let's see what we got on the anchor.
Looks like Little Rock Central is going to make it two in a row.
With that leadoff from Zoe Smith.
Yep.
They look like they have control of this race.
Looks like Bentonville's catching up on Bentonville West.
Yeah, Bentonville is coming around on Bentonville West.
Little Rock Central's got this.
It's going to be a touch for second, Scott. This looks close.
Oh. Looks like West just touched out Bentonville. The winning, yeah, still 2 seconds off the state record, but led by Zoe Smith leading off. Little Rock Central made it 2 in a row. So
that was exciting.
Yeah, 140.91. Second was Bentonville West with 142.55, just touching out Bentonville at 142.80.
Yeah, Bentonville made that a race at the end there, closing a lot of ground for a touch there, but whoever went anchored that Bentonville West relay held on. I think that was Kira Moore going last.
Yeah, it looked like, was that Juliana going last for Bentonville?
I think that was Juliana Costantini making a charge, but Kira held her off. That was a great race.
Well, we got the boys relay, and I'll go ahead and read this, but in the first heat we have Rogers, lane 3, Catholic, lane 4, Springdale, lane 5, and Heritage, lane 6. Only four swimmers, 4 teams here. Again, 4 swimmers going 50 yards apiece. So we're looking at, might see some lead changes, some different athletes here. Bentonville High School and Bentonville West are both in the second heat, and we're expecting a good race between them and Little Rock Central. I guess Little Rock Central has done pretty well on their relays so far. They've won, I think they've won 2 of the 3. So.
Yep, they're making their mark on the relays, which always is double points in relays, so it's worth winning them. It'll be an interesting race coming up here on the 200 free relay, see what the strategy is for Bentonville. Moving their swimmers around.
The swimmer from Catholic on the block is having a good swim, but he slipped off the blocks. Lucky he didn't false start there as he went to do a step up kind of on the thing. He slipped a little bit. So we have Catholic's third swimmer looking like they're going to win this particular heat. We're getting a little charge from Springdale High School in lane 5. And the other 2 competitors, Rogers in lane 3 and Heritage. Rogers Heritage in lane 6 are both pretty close. Looks like in the Battle of Rogers for third place in this heat, Heritage is leading Rogers. The teams are neck and neck going into the last legs there.
Yep.
And it looks like Catholic continues to lead here.
Yeah.
I think, did they swim an extra swimmer? I think they did. I haven't seen that before. It looks like they swam a 5th swimmer. So I'm not sure if that's a DQ or not. I think it is.
That would be new to me too. I'm not sure. It would
They
be.
swam 5 swimmers. Huh. Well, come to enough swim meets, you're going to see something new. So that's a new one on me.
Well, that says a lot because you've been to a lot of meets. I have, but you've probably been to more. So that is new.
As it gets ready, again, when you have 4 swimmers on each relay, you'll have 4 sets of parents and some other things, and they get teammates. And the fact is, we're at double, they get pretty loud as we get ready for these things.
Scott, this is like Yo Fong Yu leading off the Bentonville relay, so this should be a pretty strong lead off for them. That'll be interesting.
All right, Yo Fong's in lane 4.
So Brian in lane 1, Fayetteville lane 2, Harbor 3, Bentonville 4, Central 5. Bentonville West 6, Conway 7, and North Little Rock 8.
Yeah, Yo Fong is leading off. What great underwater since he's coming in. He's going to be 20 point. The state record is 20.3 by Ty Wingfield. He's 21.04. Excellent time for Yo Fong leading that off.
That is smoking. He put him in over a body length lead from Yo Fong.
Yeah, Bentonville High School is in the lead. It looks like they want to.
Central looks to be in position at second right now, but Bentonville's got a sizable lead.
Yeah, a little bit of a slower start there. I guess Coach Liz Taylor telling him safe starts came into that. This swimmer is getting caught a little bit by Little Rock Central.
Central's charging on this third leg. It's definitely getting a little bit tighter here.
Yeah, as we get to the final 2 swimmers.
This is an exciting one. Central's really closing. He's swimming up on the rope and closing the gap during the final exchange.
Wow, as they go into last night, Bentonville with a slight lead. Little Rock Central swimmer is catching him a little bit.
Sure is.
Can't really see that, but
last turn. Oh, this is a race.
Looks like Bentonville and Little Rock, stroke for stroke, as they come. It looks like Bentonville's got it.
Wow, looks like the touch went to Bentonville. 1:28.
4 100s, Fred.
4 100s. Whoa.
A little bit off the state record time, but
that was exciting. I'll say it again. You don't have a pulse if you can't get excited about that, right?
Absolutely.
4 100s. What a great race between the team from Little Rock and Bentonville. Wow.
The opposite of I guess Bentonville got a little revenge from the Central one, but a little closer there. And Bentonville pulled that out. It helps when you put Yo Fong on the lead there. So
well, you sure gave them a great position for those next 2 swimmers. And then the closer there at the end, I want to say that was was that Jackson Keys?
I thought so, but I couldn't really tell. I guess we can look on Meet Mobile and see if they identify the athletes. It's not always accurate. Like Fred said, they can put 8 athletes on the entry, and then it's updated when they do it, and you can change up to right before the event swimmers and stuff for those relays.
Makes it interesting. Those were exciting. And next up, just so clear on the next events, we're kind of getting towards the end of the meet. You always close with the 100 back, then followed by the 100 breast, and then the granddaddy event of them all, the 400 freestyle relay closes the meet. So those will be exciting relays to wrap up the meet. So.
Well, we talked about at the beginning, the 200 medley relay was kind of the highlight of the meet, but the second highlight is going to be this 100 back. And you have 3 excellent swimmers in this women's division competing. You got Zoe Smith from Little Rock Central, who's you just saw broke the state record in the 100 free. You got Susie Lee, who's got a couple of state records from Bentonville, and you got Ellie Schrank from Bentonville West. So that should be an excellent race.
Very exciting lineup. Like you said, there's state champions through and through, and Schrank is a very strong swimmer, and she'll put herself in position as well. So those 3 will be exciting to watch in this.
Yeah, I think at Junior Nationals, Ellie went 55 low, not quite what she placed, not quite what Susie did at last year's state meet, but it's going to be a good race.
Yeah, no, it'll be good. Susie's best is 54.1 on the club side as well, so it'll still be a very good race. And Zoe Smith, I mean, what can you say? I mean, she's a big, strong swimmer that can make anything a race.
Yeah, over 6 foot tall. She went 50.8 state record in the 100 free. So she'll be ready for this 100 back as well. I was kind of surprised she swam it. I expected her to swim to 50.
Yep. Change.
I guess she looked at it and said, okay, I can maybe get the state record leading off that 200 free relay, but she just missed it. So 7/100ths of a second.
On the girls' side, the state record from last year, Susie Lee, 54.66 coming up here from last year. So Susie's seed time 54.8 and her lifetime best 54.1. So, you know, Susie is an let me get this right, the Ohio State University commit. Very deep program there at Ohio State. Susie's going to be competing for a spot on their conference team in the Big Ten, so it'll be interesting to see her as she pushes herself in this heat.
The men's should be a good race too, and a couple of things. Their state record in the men's or the boys division is held by Gavin Vann of Bentonville West, set in 2017. And we've had several swimmers in their club meets go under 50, but no one's done it yet at the high school meet. And you have a chance for Gage Johnson and Joshua Smith to do that. They're seeded 1-2, both at 50 point. They probably have both been 49. The other thing is, I remember a story Doc Councilman told Jim Montgomery before the Olympics in 1976. He said, well, this is the last chance to break a barrier in the 100 free. And he said that, you know, nobody's going to break 40. So the one that breaks 50 is the last big barrier to break, and Jim Montgomery went out at 49.99 and won the Olympic gold medal. So it didn't matter. About a month later, Jonty Skinner went 49.4. He was the first one to go under 50, and it'll be quite an accomplishment for either. Of course, we're rooting for Gage Johnson from Bentonville to do that, but Joshua Smith is going to be formidable competition in that.
It was fun watching them duke it out on the medley relay. It was a touch there, so for sure this is going to be exciting.
If it comes down to a touch, the 6'6" Gage Johnson might have a little bit of an advantage.
He didn't cut his nails this morning, so hopefully we'll get him there.
All right, we got the girls 100 backstroke heat 1 coming. They start in the water. I'll read the lineup right after the start. Lane 1, Sylvia Hunter, Rogers. Lane 2, Lila Corbin, Fayetteville. Lane 3, Juliana Fear, Cabot. Lane 4, Ann Zahn, Central. Lane 5, Ava Schindler, Conway. Kira Moore from Bentonville. Lane 6, Chloe O'Neill from Conway. Lane 7, and Isabella Sharp, Lane 8.
It looks like lane 4, Anna Zahn is out to a pretty strong lead. She's being pushed a bit in 5 by Ava Schindler, and then in 3, Juliana Fear is in the heat as well. But pretty good lead here for lane 4 coming off the second turn.
Here's some strategy. They start in the water for backstroke. That's because they swim on their back. But you know, some of the thing is that you can often slip. They don't have wedges here. The pads sometimes can be slick, so you have to be careful how you pull yourself up for that race.
Looks like Anna Zahn is holding her lead and actually increasing it. Another time that could get her into the final. She's seated at 105.3. The top seed in the final heat is 104.85. Lost a little there at the end, but she touched it. Well, actually, first was in lane 2. 105.62 snuck up on it. Out there in lane 2.
That's Lila Corbin from Fayetteville High School.
She really had a big drop, 107.5 seed. Good for her.
This 100 back should be a great race. Lane 1 is Becca Snyder, Bentonville High School. Lane 2, Addie Payne, Bentonville West. Lane 3, Zoe Smith, Central. Lane 4, Susie Lee, Bentonville. Lane 5, Ellie Schrank, Bentonville West. Lane 6, Lacey Dizelle, Springdale. Lane 7, Bentonville High School's Allie Adams. In lane 8, Abby Simon, Fort Smith Southside.
So Susie really pushes the underwaters. You'll see her come up last. And there she is, right to the edge of the markers. They have markers, and you cannot stay underwater. I believe it's what, 15 meters?
15 meters.
15 meters, and so Susie will push that right to the limit most of the way. She's got a lead here.
And you have to come up in the yellow markers, which are marked, that they need to go to. But Zoe Smith is right there.
She's right there. They're turning pretty much together, Scott. That was close.
2/100ths of a second. Susie Lee leads by, and Ellie Schrank trails slightly at 27.09.
It's an instant contrast to see Susie's underwaters versus Zoe pushing it above the water.
I think Zoe's about a foot taller than Susie, but
it's there. This is definitely a race, though. And
Ellie Schrank is coming back. Looks like Susie's.
Under the flags here. Looks like Susie has it at the touch, but we'll see.
That's a state record, Fred.
54.30 state record for Susie Lee. Second, Zoe Smith 54.8, and then 55 flat for Schrank. That's a great swim for all those girls.
All girls, I think those all three of them had best times there.
Excellent, excellent race for all of them. Men's 100 back coming up next. We're moving quickly here. I'll just hit the first heat of the men's 100 back. Sean Beck from North Little Rock. Forrest Field from Bentonville in lane 2. Jason Bolton from Cabot in 3. Ashay Chauvin from Central in 4. Jack Young from Harbor in 5. Even Thomas from Fayetteville in 6. Jeremy Hermick from Springdale in 7. And Ethan Muhlenbach from Catholic in 8. Again, the first of 2 heats.
Pretty close from 9th place, which is Akshay Chauvin, and 8th place, which is Ezra Brocklin from Bentonville High School. But anything can happen here. I think in backstroke, you know, it's important to keep your head steady. The flags are there for you to count your strokes. Like for me, it's 4 strokes from the flags till I hit the wall, 3 if I'm doing a flip turn. And you can roll over on your stomach with 1 stroke before the wall and flip over like with a freestyle turn and push off. You have to push off on your back.
Akshay Chauvin here really from Central pushing the pace.
27.93. He is out fast. And lane 5 is also right there too.
Jack Young right there as well.
Jack Young from Harbor. And those two will probably push themselves and push each other to some faster times here. So it looks like they're neck and neck. It's going to come down to a touch.
Jack Young surging here. They're under the flags, and looks like Young has a little edge from where we're sitting. But
yeah, looks like Jack's going to take it.
What happens at the touch? Boy, Young 57.81 to win the heat. Very nice. 58.17 from Akshay Chauvin for second.
And Forrest Field third from Bentonville.
Nice. Bentonville's moving up again.
Okay, this should be a great race coming up.
This is going to be good. Hunter Setliff in lane 1 from Harbor. Garrett Price, North Little Rock in 2. David Sanu from Bentonville West in 3. Joshua Smith from Central in 4. Gage Johnson, defending champion from Bentonville in 5. Jace Gladden from Bryan in 6. Zach Vasterwegen from Bentonville in 7. And Ezra Brocklin from Bentonville in 8. So you have 3 Tigers in this heat.
All right. See what they can do. See if somebody can get under 50 seconds. Gage is up first. It looks like Josh Smith stayed in the water almost to 15 meters. Probably came up a little bit ahead. They flipped even. Gage is up and stroking. They're stroke for stroke as they come in.
Wow, they sure are. It's definitely a 2-man race. There's nobody else.
Going to be out in 23 high or 24 low. So 24-11 from Gage. Slightly. If he comes back, he could get under 50.
He can do it.
So here we go. His mom's going crazy in front of us. So
he's got a gap now going into the 3rd turn. Gage has definitely got a lead. He's got about a half a body length.
His mom, Tori's getting some aerobic work as we go. As Gage comes towards the finish.
Might be getting
He's going to be under 50.
Here we go.
He got it.
There's your 49.41. There's your 49.41. Good job.
High five from Tori Johnson there. And that's the first Arkansas State swimmer at the high school meet to go under 50. That's right at his best time too. So 49.41.
And hats off, Joshua Smith broke the state record as well. Didn't quite get under 50, but 50.20. What an amazing swim.
I swam hard.
The question is Tori Johnson's cell phone okay? It almost went in the water. She jumped it and leaped at the finish.
It may not be, but we'll have to keep an eye. I'm worried more about her heart than her cell phone.
Garrett Price, a freshman, Garrett Price, who's Chad Price's son, was third there, 53.42 from North Little Rock. So he's a freshman. His best event's probably the 500. His dad, Chad's walking right in front of me right now, but he's the coach at North Little Rock. So I used to coach for the Sharks way back in the day.
Back in the day.
In the early 2000s. From Texas and went to Missouri State.
And so next up, we have the ladies 100 breaststroke. They're doing some awards now, but Leanne Fanu, University of South Carolina, the state record holder, 102.7 from last year. This will be a fun one as well. You have Jenna Gogol, who's the clearest favorite, the seasoned senior. But a couple freshmen around her, Sophia McAfee, 9 flat, Juliana Costantini, 9.4, and then this Genevieve LaForge from Bentonville, also a freshman, really improved a lot this season at 102.51.
Jenna's got a beautiful brushstroke, like you said, really good at long course. She also had a little illness this week. She did miss a couple practices. And her really focus is junior nationals coming up. But going to swim for Pablo Morales, former Olympian.
Thank you.
Got a congratulations from the 100 backstroke champion there, Gage Johnson.
We'll interview you later. You just take some rest, you know.
We're having fun with this. Like I said, the swimmers head to the warm-down pool and come right by us, all of them. So we get to see them, their joys, and thrill of victory and agony defeat, if you can borrow that term from Wide Wide World of Sports.
Sure you can. As long as you don't replicate the skier who went down the hill and then in the sun, right?
Absolutely.
Not everybody knows that one, but some people do. So.
I certainly do. So I think they're giving out the awards for the relays coming up. So there's a lot of people, as you can see, gathered behind there to take pictures, because there's 4 athletes in each one of those relays. And so that means, up to 8 sets of parents for each relay, which leads to a crowd over there. But I wanted to talk again about the 100 backstroke. I know Gage was really ready for that. And as he heads into senior year, he's focused on other meets like junior nationals as well, but he certainly wanted to do well. And I think Coach Moe and Coach Goal both do something where they let the seniors rest a little bit more as they get ready for the last high school state meet.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, the energy at this meet, what Coach Moe has told me in the past is, hey, they're going to be ready, it's the energy and excitement. But you said it, so many of these swimmers we see winning these events, Scott, are top 3 in these events. They got a lot of meets coming up, whether it's juniors, sectionals. So there's a lot still to come for some of these swimmers. But it's great to see the energy. I mean, Gage Johnson's on the back. That was almost a second under the state record, no?
Yeah, 9/10.
That's amazing. Good for him.
Well, Gavin Van was an excellent swimmer. He was Bentonville West's first ever state champion in any sport. So
wow, there's a fact.
There's a stat for you there. But now he's a former 100 backstroke state record holder. So
he went in the military, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
Great family of Vans, and Gavin was an excellent swimmer.
Had Gavin and Garrett. Garrett was a couple years older than Gavin. Both swam. I guess Gavin swam maybe 2 years for Bentonville and 2 years for West. So when that started. So anyway, that's that. And some of those Bentonville relays that they have state records at would have been even faster without that split. But anyway, they'll keep going faster, and that's one thing that's really exciting about swimming. But in this women's 100, these girls 100 breast, really a young field in that second heat. You got, like you said, 3 freshmen that I expect Jenna Gogol to win, but those freshmen should compete for a championship coming up in years to come.
Yeah, I'd say knowing Jenna Gogol as long as I have, she has no intention of losing, sick or not, this week. So she's a seasoned senior, and while she is better long course, she sure can swim well short course. Now, those young ladies will push her, but Jenna's clearly in the driver's seat, and we'll see what happens here. You got to swim the race, but it'll be fun.
And I'll read the swimmers in Heat 1 right after they enter the water here in the first heat of the girls' 100 breaststroke.
I don't know. I think they do like blankets. They're probably just like back.
Lane 1, Morgan Hall, Bentonville. Lane 2, Jordan Miller, North Little Rock. Lane 3, Riley Dyson, Conway. Lane 4, Kayla Garcia, Cabot. Lane 5, Addie Staniker, Central. Lane 6, Annalie Thompson, Conway. Lane 7, Reese Waller, Harbor. Lane 8, Emily Schrank, Addie's younger sister, Bentonville West.
Kayla Garcia from Cabot is out to the early lead coming into the 50. It looks like she's being pushed out there in lane 5 by Addie Stallmacher from Central.
Notice the contrast of styles.
For sure.
Yeah, lane 5 is coming up quite a bit higher, and some of the others stay down lower. If you want to see how to swim breaststroke, look at Jenna Gogol in the next heat. She's got a very smooth, powerful breaststroke.
Sure does. Looks like these girls are turning, and I think lane 4. Kayla Garcia is still in the lead. Good tempo, but lane 5 is coming up after here from Central, Addie Stallmacher.
It's going to be very close. It looks like that Kayla Garcia is going to hang on, but we'll see at the touch.
This is a touch.
Looks like lane 5 got it. She came back.
Wow.
Maddie Staniker from Central just out-touched Kayla Garcia from Cabot.
Big drop, 114.1, 114.7. Both young ladies, excellent swims.
And we'll have heat 2 of the 100 breaststroke. Again, the state record held by Leon Yu, 102.70, set last year. Lane 1, Madison Bustle, Fayetteville. Lane 2, Kendall Olson, Springdale. Lane 3, Juliana Constantini, Bentonville. Lane 4, Jenna Gogo, Bentonville West. Lane 5, Sophia McAfee, Springdale. Lane 6, Genevieve LaForge, Bentonville. Lane 5, Aubrey Hurden, Harbor. Lane 6, Emerson Chambers, Mount St. Mary's.
So it looks like Jenna's taking the lead here at the turn of the 25. Juliana was pushing her, but Jenna's exerting her will at this point. It seems like at the 50, she's got about a half a body length lead, if I was guessing. 31.2, Juliana 32.4, and then 33 flat for Sophia. We'll see what happens here on the second 50.
And as you see the front view, you can see how Jenna really extends her stroke and really has a really powerful kick that propels her forward with every stroke.
An amazing kick. The flexibility in the ankles and knees is not natural. She has a very, very strong kick.
You notice she takes a dolphin kick. The swimmers are allowed one dolphin kick off the wall, and then if they do more than that, they could be disqualified. But
Jenna's clearly handling this heat, and it looks like she's going to post a 105.86. Second place, Juliana Costantini, 108.31. Rounding out the top 3, Sophia McAfee, 109.33. It looks like somebody else got under 110 there. Is that a 109.83 next to her?
a good swim for Juliana.
That was a good little effort for the freshman. So many more years to swim. We're on to the men's 100 breaststroke. Lane 1, Kyle Liu from Cabot. Lane 2, Luke Rankin from Fayetteville. Lane 3, Ty Schicklinger from Harbor. Noah Rankin in lane 4 from Fayetteville. Zachary Sheffield from Bentonville in lane 5. Henry Bourne from Bentonville in 6. Hunter Setliff from Harbor in 7. And Benjamin Adams from Springdale in 8.
Well, Fred and I have been joking about swimming. We still try to swim masters with the old folks, and Zachary Shefchick, his dad swims with us regularly, so he's an excellent swimmer, and Zachary is following in that tradition.
He's right out there too, huh?
Yeah, it looks like Noah Rankin is, or lane 6 rather. Henry Bourne is slightly ahead of him, so his Bentonville teammate. And Zach is a breaststroker like his dad, but it looks like that Henry Bourne has got a slight lead over Zach as they head for home, but that's a good swim. I mean, lane 6, Henry Bourne is going out there. Zachary Shefchick is a junior.
Wow, he's got quite a lead there.
Yeah, he does. Looks like he's going to be about drop a few seconds.
3:35. That's a pretty good.
He should move up. And
That's
second, lane 3, Ty Schlinkler from Harbor. And third, lane 5, Zach Shefchick from Bentonville with 4 100ths of a drop off the seed time. So hopefully those gentlemen can move up in the following heat.
They sure have a chance at it. There's a lot of 105, so that one.
Yeah, the state record is held by Blair Bish, set in 2015. Blair went 55.11.
Lane 1, Ben Robbins from Bentonville. Lane 2, Jackson Garlow from Conway. Lane 3, Isaac Lee from Harbor. Ethan June from Bentonville, from Fayetteville. In lane 4, Michael Potts from Central. In 5, Central Little Rock. Caden Neese, Cabot. In 6, Jacob Herzog from Cabot. In 7, and Lex O'Brien rounds it out from Bentonville in lane 8.
What's his name? Michael Potts is having a great meet. He led off good in the medley relay going breaststroke. He's got a slight lead at the 50. Out in 27.85. That's a good time.
Very strong.
Probably not going to challenge Blair Bish's state record, but nonetheless, Michael Potts is out ahead a little bit of Ethan as they come up. Ethan is closing a little bit from Fayetteville High School, but we'll see as they head to the last length. I think Ethan is out-taking him a little bit, but certainly
Ethan
Michael
really
Potts
moved. It looks like Ethan went by
from Fayetteville High School. Yeah, he's having a good back half of that. He's got it. So
Ethan, wow.
59-19. Great swim for Ethan from Fayetteville High School, and that's a state champion
That's
there.
a state champion. 006, second for Michael Potts. Another good swim, but it looks like Ethan really came to life that second 50.
He did. Isaac Lee third at 103.03. Fourth, lane 1, Ben Robbins. His sister Grace swims at Missouri State and was on the Bentonville West team last year. And he's fourth for Bentonville High School, lane 5. Jackson Garlow for Conway is 5th. So we have one event left, Fred. We have the 400 free relay.
All right.
And that should be fairly exciting.
We should probably do a
Score update.
So let me pull that up. And I'll round you out here on the scores. It looks like this just updated, so this should include your 100 breaststroke results. On the women's side, Bentonville with 448 points. In second, Bentonville West with 309. Central High School third at 215. Dogfight here for third. Fayetteville is at 212. Springdale at 166. Conway next and sixth at 117. Cabot at 112. Harbor 94. Mount St. Mary's at 84. And Rogers at 80. On the men's side, Bentonville has a sizable lead, 537 points. Central High School second with 287. Fayetteville High School 216. And third, Bentonville West 201.5. Harbor at 188, pretty close to Bentonville West there, so that'll be close for fourth and fifth. Conway 156. Bryant seventh at 106. North Little Rock 78 points in eighth. Cabot High School 73.5, and then Springdale rounds out the top 10 with 38 points. So Bentonville is in control of both meets. I mean, short of a DQ, you can't see anything happening here, and even that.
Even with the DQ, I think they have it won.
Different. So it looks like Bentonville is in the driver's seat here going into the last relays.
Yeah, so that'll be 2 in a row for the men and 5 in a row for the women. The women have won 10 of the last 11. Now it'll be 11 of the last 12. So pretty impressive results.
Very, very impressive.
State record, time of 54:30. Susie Lee.
They're announcing the awards for the 100 backstroke. Both state records for both Susie Lee, the Ohio State commit, and Gage Johnson, the Purdue commit.
Purdue, Big Ten in the house, both of them going up north. So impressive swims, breaking state records before they head off to school.
Big Ten is having their women's meet this week, and their men's is next week. They still separate it versus a lot of the conferences, ACC, SEC, do them both together.
Sorry.
Well, we'll have to view the monitor. It looks like the crowd's getting in front of us. I'm not going to be able to see anything. But
I think for these last 400 free relays, we're going to have a tough time moving the crowd.
Yeah, we'll see. Unfortunately, the first heat's only got 3 teams in it. And then we'll see as the second heat comes up.
6th place. James Gavin from Bryan High School.
So we're announcing the results of the 100 back, where we had a state record with Gage Johnson, first swimmer under 50 seconds in the 100 backstroke. Well, his mom celebrated Tori pretty well. It looks like she needs a new cell phone, but she'll probably trade it for that state championship and state record. So the last event is the 400 free relay, and we have the state record is held in the women's side by Bentonville, set in 2022 with Emma on the Hill, Susie Lee, Catherine Thomas, and Leanne Feng Yu went 3:32.41 2 years ago. So there's announcing Gage Johnson winning the 100 backstroke. Let's see if I can remember the evolution of state records in the 100 back. I think it was Ellis Miller in 2008 with 51 something. He was only a sophomore. Then it was broken by Robbie's son in 2012 of Arkadelphia. Then in 2013, well, Robbie won that race by only a few 100ths over Tyler Cross, and he came back and broke the state record at 50.7 the next year. And then it was set by Gavin Van in 2017, and now built by Gage Johnson in 2024. So there's your history of at least the last 16 years of the state record progression in the 100 backstroke. Well, Fred, I swam a lot of meets, and I was usually on the 400 free relay, and I often went last. So I know that when you win a state meet, you want to make sure that you perform well, and it's kind of important sometimes, even though they got a big lead, to win this last relay. And in the first heat, we only have 3 teams. We have North Little Rock in lane 3, Rogers in lane 4, and Bryant in lane 5.
Yeah, the 400 free relay, like you said earlier, is number 2 maybe to the 200 medley. It's like the beginning of a movie and the end of a movie. So this is it's very important to teams, whether you're winning the state championship or not, to close with a win. So I think Bentonville's really going to want to close it out here because it's going to be competitive. There's a few relay teams in here that can push them for sure. On the girls' side, Bentonville and Bentonville West are only seated less than 2 seconds apart, and on the boys' side, pretty close as well between, I believe it's Bentonville and Central in that case. 3:16 to 3:24, so about 7 seconds there.
Looks like Susie Lee will be on that 400 free relay for Bentonville. She's awfully competitive. I like my chances with having her go last.
Yeah, in all likelihood, they'll probably lead off with that start that Caroline Costantini has. It's pretty tough to beat. And anchor with Susie on the end, that's a tough combo for Bentonville, getting them out there and competing. And then you still have Emma on the hill for relay as well. And then we'll see what Coach Liz does with that final leg. There's a few swimmers that are viable for that last leg.
I'm not sure where Zoe Smith from Central will go. She's already got the state record in the 100 free. You can set a state record on the leadoff on a relay. So
maybe she might break it again, huh?
She could break her own state record. It's going to be her 4th swim. She's going to be a little winded, but she's a very talented swimmer. So
for sure. So this first heat, North Little Rock is in lane 3, Rogers in lane 4, and then Bryant in lane 5. We're through the first leg and on to the second here. As we close out the meet with the last relays.
As the camera angle looks, you see all the athletes and teammates of these people coming up with the second heat gathered behind the lane, getting ready to cheer for everybody. So there's not a lot of deck space here at the Bentonville Community Center, so you'll see as you look down, people all over the place, but I don't know. I think it's in good spirit that the people are rooting for their teammates and trying to reach them to achieve their best.
For sure, for sure. I mean, we're making the most of it, and kind of has an element almost like a college basketball arena that's a little smaller than some of the bigger ones where you're hovering over the pool, and brings a lot of energy. There's a lot of energy at this meet for sure. Every year there is, and a lot this year as well.
Well, I've been to Cameron Indoor at Duke. That's a bandbox if you ever saw it. So
that brings some energy for sure.
But the facility around that is unbelievable.
I prefer the Pete at the University of Pittsburgh, but Cameron Indoor, they got a little more tradition than us.
And that's good. But Missouri did play Pittsburgh in basketball this year, and I don't know if you recall the results, but that was one of Missouri's 8 wins so far this year. So
wow. Yeah, that's we have an outside shot at the dance right now. We'll see how it shapes out for my Pittsburgh Panthers, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish, right?
Yeah, Missouri hasn't finished well with a few injuries and a few graduations and things. So
right on. But
they have 5 4-star and 5-star recruits for next year, so it looks good in that basketball thing. And again, you have a lot of these. This is the last race. Some of these athletes might be swimming in their last race and want to do that, do well for their team and stuff. Addison Wicklund is for Rogers here. That's probably why they have a lead in that, but she's a great swimmer and doesn't have a lot of depth behind her. But currently, looks like we're on the 3rd legs of this relay here.
Addison's a great swimmer, great teammate, very competitive. So it was fun to see her close out her senior year with 2 wins like that. So being on a team with maybe a little less depth and being there for her teammates is a good thing, and it speaks to who Addison is. So great effort from her.
And where is her brother Aaron going to college?
I want to say he's at Missouri, University of Missouri St. Louis.
Okay.
And he did very well there his freshman year. I'm not sure of the results his sophomore year now. They may have had their conference meet already, but Aaron's an excellent swimmer as well. Breaststroker as well, I am. Both Wicklands can swim just about any stroke. If pressed, backstroke would be the one they wouldn't, but they're both excellent athletes. So we're coming up on the big final heat here. In lane 1, we have Conway. In lane 2, Springdale. In lane 3, Fayetteville. In lane 4, Bentonville High School. In lane 5, Bentonville West. In lane 6, Central. 7, Cabot. And 8, Harbor for the ladies' final here.
Yeah, they have a order here. I'm not sure who's going to go where on this particular event. Lane 6, is that? That's not Zoe Smith, is it?
It doesn't look like Zoe. Caroline's definitely leading off Bentonville, and I'm not sure who that is for West.
Might be Ella Butcher leading off for West. Or is it? Is that?
Bentonville comes up with a lead. Caroline Costantini, quick start for her, as always. Maybe Butcher coming off with her. I'm not sure.
Definitely Caroline leading off and getting Bentonville Tigers an early lead.
Sizable lead, 24-7 takeout. That's 3/10 faster than her flat start 100 that she got third in. So she is turning the screws here to get Bentonville out in front. Good body length ahead of the Bentonville West team.
And Central close behind in a battle for third with Fayetteville. So we'll see who does that. Different swimmers, different legs. Bentonville would like to close this out with a victory. It looks like Caroline 52 something. It looks like pretty good swim.
That's going to be right at 52 flat. I don't think it was 51.9, but pretty close.
51.9. I think you're right.
It's right there, but gives Bentonville a very strong lead.
51.94 actually. So that's great.
Good swim for her up front. Looks like Emma on the hills in the water second.
Yep. She's part of that state champion relay record from a couple years ago.
That 51.9 definitely puts them in position with Susie Lee anchoring to threaten this state record for sure, Scott.
Oh, absolutely. And let's see who we got coming up. We got Em on the hill. I'm not sure. Heidi Nelson and Susie Lee.
That's Lexi Boscus coming up third there for Bentonville. But Bentonville West is in a sizable second position here. They're keeping themselves in the race.
Is probably Ellie's coming up for Bentonville West last, but looks like Bentonville's got a good lead here. And with Susie Lee going the anchor leg, I like the chances of the Bentonville Tigers winning this relay. But you said they got a good shot at the state record here.
Well, West is moving, though. I mean, West has closed it for sure on that second and definitely on this third. They're only a body length back, I would say, right now, as Lexi Boscus turns at the 50. It's going to be Susie Lee, and that looks like Schrank anchoring the West relay.
It should be another battle.
They did it once, and they'll do it again.
Yep. So we'll see what happens here as they come in the last leg. Looks like West has taken the lead.
Wow. West has definitely taken the lead.
I guess that's, is that Addie Payne, or it could be
I think it's
Linnea Haraldson.
I think it's Payne.
Yeah.
Boy, Susie's going off about a body length back behind a very strong 100 freestyler in Schrank, so we'll see what happens here.
She's 51 low, so we'll see. Looks like Bentonville West might get a little revenge from the medley coming up, but great strategy by Bentonville West to take the lead here.
Sure was, and Schrank is really turning it up here at the 50. She's still got that body length lead over Susie here, turning off the wall. Susie's coming off and trying to close the gap, but Schrank is not giving an inch.
No, it looks like Ellie's going to hang on. She's going to get a state title on the day. So
she is pushing it.
Yeah, she's an excellent swimmer as well. Committed to the University of Cincinnati, and looks like she's going to hang on for a victory.
This looks like a
3:32 is the
record.
It is
3:30.9 for
new
Bentonville
state
West.
record
Schrank
for Bentonville West.
Over a second, 3:32.89 for Bentonville in second. Wow.
So the team of Ella Butcher, Linnea Haraldson, Addie Payne, and Ellie Schrank has just taking 2 seconds off the state record, so congratulations.
What a turn of fate. I mean, we both thought Bentonville would have that wrapped up, but Schrank really turned it up. And that third leg from either Patty Payne or Harrelson, the middle of the race there for Bentonville West was very strong.
Well, the strategy, Bentonville West had probably 4 equal swimmers, and Bentonville High School had a weaker swimmer, having, put some of their better talent in some of the other relays. But congratulations to the Bentonville West Wolverines for pulling that one out in state record time.
Wow. 3:30.
Second place for Bentonville High School, 3:32, was only 0.4 of a second off the state record. So good effort for all 8 of those ladies, and congratulations to Bentonville West for coming out on top there.
Sure was a good relay.
All right, we have the men's 400 free relay. So the boys are up first. We have 2 heats.
Good to go.
All right, the first heat of the 400 free relay, lane 2, Rogers Heritage, lane 3, Catholic, lane 4, North Little Rock, lane 5, Springdale, and lane 6, Rogers.
I'm really interested in what Schrank anchored that relay on. Ellie really turned it up at the end. Splits are not up yet, but there were some really good swims.
Yeah, definitely. So Ellie was determined after a couple of second places. Good job, Ellie. So as they wave them out of our line of sight here. So anyway, both Bentonville and Bentonville West first and second place. And again, Bentonville West, new state record. So as we lead this, the first relay swimmers are coming in. Just under a minute for the first legs of that. The state qualifying time was about 4 minutes, it looks like, but it looks like that these relays, looks like the second heat is going to be quite a bit faster, but these gentlemen might be closing out their career and different things like that. Looks like Yofang is not on the 400 free relay. He's he's got his tech suit off, so he's just coming up to cheer.
That's a sign. That's a true sign.
So a little bit on the suit technology. To 2009, they allowed a little bit of rubber in the suits, and it got to where that they took that out. So the suits have to be certified. They found that the suit is usually faster than the skin, so that's why they go down. They have to end above the knees, and they can't wear the full body like they used to. So the men's can wear a jammer that will go from the waist to above the knees, and the women will wear the suit, which also, I think they call it a knee skin, that they go into that. And those suits are quite pricey, but definitely if you get a new one, it's definitely faster because it repels the water and helps you glide through a little bit easier.
The other thing on the ladies' side, especially, is the compression they get from it too. It's a huge factor to streamline, the position of the body in the water. So it really flattens and makes you like a knife moving through the water. The new suits are really amazing. So.
And some of the top programs at college and stuff, they'll do races and practice and things where they'll swim all-out swims with that suit just to get used to swimming it, because there's certain strokes like breaststroke. The kick is quite a bit different with a longer suit on, so practicing that really helps. And backstroke a little bit too. No flotation, but you do glide through the water a little bit easier with that. And so you'll have some of the elite teams that will suit up for practices to go some good times and things. Looks like lane 4, which is North Little Rock, has got a slight lead here. They have Garrett Price, who got third in the 100 back on their relay. Young freshman, looks like very talented, and he swam 440 something in the 500, but opted not to swim that because he didn't think he had any chance of winning that one. So now that Connor Boatwright is graduating, maybe he'll be in that event next year. So
get his shot for sure.
Looks like that they won that heat. And again, that's North Little Rock. 3:51. That was Garrett Price anchoring, but it looks like the seeds on the next relay is 3:40. So that might be good for 9th place there.
Going back to that ladies 400 free relay, that exciting race at state record time. Ellie Schrank anchored that relay in 51:23.
Wow,
so
congratulations.
it sure looked
good
like
splits overall. You want to read all those splits?
Yeah, I can go through Bentonville West. Ella Butcher, freshman, 53.82. Lillian Harrelson, 53.49. Addie Payne, 52.36. And then Ellie Schrank, 51.23 for Bentonville West. And then for Bentonville, Caroline Costantine just got under 51.98 with a flat start. Emma on the hill, very good, 53.14 for her. Lexi Boscus, 55.8, and then 51.96 for Susie.
So that means Ellie outsplit Susie.
Outsplit Susie, yeah. So good race there from the ladies.
Well, the moment we wait for, the last relay here.
Moment of truth.
The state record is held by Little Rock Central, set 2 years ago with Bagat, Adelam, Reynolds, and John Henry Forrest at 3:07.93.
Cabot, in lane 2, Conway, in lane 3, Bentonville West, in lane 4, Bentonville, in lane 5, Fayetteville, 6, Central, 7, Bryan, and rounding it out in lane 8, Harbor High School.
Yeah, Bentonville looks to try to close out the meet with a victory. It looks like Bentonville West is out to a slight lead, but very close between lanes 3, 4, and 5, which is Bentonville, Bentonville West, and Fayetteville. So out in 24 low, they're going to be under 50, so it's going to get quite loud in here as the teammates come up. And it looks like lane 4, which is Bentonville High School, has got a slight lead as they come in. So they want to close this meet out in style and win that last relay. So about 49 leading that off, and Bentonville's got a slight lead. Lane 5 is Fayetteville close behind, and Bentonville West. And lane 3 is also in 3rd place.
So looks like Dane Boscus in second to me based on that stroke.
Yeah,
really pushing it. He's really pushing it.
I've never seen him kick so hard. So
23-1 on his feet going out. Look at Dane Boscus.
Yeah, he looks great. I'm not sure if Jackson Keys is coming up on this or not, and who they have, but they mixed up with it, and looks like that. Dane Boscus is extending Bentonville's lead. They have a huge lead over both Fayetteville and Bentonville West. Safe start there as the 3rd swimmer dives in.
48-7 for Dane on that. Nice split for Dane. Good pushing it.
Absolutely. So Bentonville's got a sizable lead, but we'll see. Little Rock Central looks like they've stacked some of the other relays, and they're in lane 6. They're quite a ways back. It's right now Bentonville, Fayetteville, and Bentonville West. Little Rock Central's in 4th.
Looks like they got the big 6'6" guy frame coming up.
Gage Johnson.
Future Boilermaker is anchoring the Bentonville relay.
Well, I would like Bentonville's chances with that. I mean, you figure if he went 49.4 backstroke and he won the 50 free, he's probably going to go 45 low here in the 400 free relay.
He sure got a lead, too. Look at that.
Yeah, I don't think he'll split 40 to break the state record, but they're going to be 312 or so that's a really good time. Gage looks fantastic because it's really loud in here. Fayetteville's holding on for second. Bentonville West, that's Caleb Guthrie going last. He's trying to catch the Fayetteville swimmer.
Yeah, that could be the change here.
Caleb's developed his sprinting quite a bit as he's gotten older, and pretty powerful frame. He's going as hard as he can, so Gage Johnson is
21-7 on
pulling
his feet.
away. Yeah, he's good. So that is a good time. Okay, you can feel it. Bentonville West is catching Fayetteville for second. Here comes Gage Johnson, going to be about 3:12, 3:13.49.
Bentonville wins it going away.
Looks like Fayetteville's going to be second and West third, Central fourth. So
Excellent swing from all of them. That Bentonville team was really, really strong to close out the meet. Kind of putting an exclamation point on the efforts they put in for today. Amazing racing.
21-7 going out. 45-7 are approximately split for Gage Johnson. So, well, this concludes the meet. Bentonville is going to win both men's and women's events here, and I'm not sure if they'll show Liz Taylor and Mark Gold take a plunge, but normally the tradition is to throw the coach in after that. But
right, the coach needs to get wet, so I'm assuming that the young athletes will take them in the water with them after those championships.
well, hopefully all you out there listening enjoyed our coverage of this event. Certainly enjoyed bringing it to you. For Fred Constantine, this is Scott Halliburton and the Bentonville Sports Network signing off from the 2024 Arkansas State Champion, where Bentonville won both the girls' titles and boys' titles. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.